What up, Lori Addison? How you doing this morning, sister? It's good to see you. Shout out to B. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. What up, Papa Died? Papa Died is the least funniest comedian in the chat. Yeah, I'm starting on you today, Papa Died. But appreciate you pulling up this morning, bro. Thank you. Appreciate you. Who else we got up in here? Early, man. You guys have full-fledged conversations, in the chat before I even get up here. What up, Donald Lovejoy, man? Appreciate you pulling up. Scott Jung in the building. Y'all see the hat. Tenekee in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. What up, Sonny? Appreciate you. What's up, Rob? How you doing this morning, man? Appreciate you pulling up. What up, Hadassah? How you doing this morning? Hey, can we make sure to show Lori some love in the chat? Today is her birthday. I believe today is her birthday. Maybe it was yesterday, but y'all make sure y'all show Lori Addison some love in the chat. Happy birthday to you, Lori. Appreciate you and everything that you do and that you have done, for me and for ARP. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Y'all make sure y'all show Lori some love in the chat. Shout out to Lori. Couple super chats. What up, Steven? Coming through with the $2 super chat. Says, good morning from the cab of a big rig in Minnesota. Be safe out there, man. I had saw something earlier this morning. There was like a crazy car pile. I don't know if it was in Minnesota or if it was in Michigan. I can't remember exactly. I know it was one of those states up north. But man, y'all make sure y'all keep those folks, lifted up in prayer. Crazy car pile up out there. Trucks, cars, big rigs all over the place, man. All over the place. It did not look good. So y'all make sure y'all keep those folks lifted up in prayer. Shout out to Hunter coming through with the $10 super chat. Says, good morning. Here is the verse for the day. Courtesy of Papa Died. Okay. All right. Papa Died coming through with the verse. And Hunter, I would have found you. You didn't have to come through with the super chat. I do appreciate it, but I would have found you eventually. It looks like today's verse is from 1 Thessalonians. 1 Thessalonians. These braces is working with me today. Chapter 5, verse 15. It says, make sure that nobody pays back wrong for wrong, but always strive to do what is good for each other and for everyone else. Man, that's right on time. Right on time. Shout out to you, man. Thank you, Papa Died. Appreciate you, bro. Thanks, Papa Died, coming through with the $2 super chat. Says, Wise, you should be paying me for my content. I'm not messing with you, bro. Appreciate you, Papa Died. Thank you very much. What's up, Dion? Big Job Ford in the building. Wisconsin in the house. Shout out to you. What up, Bobby? How's it going this morning? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. What up, Megan Fountain? Appreciate you pulling up this morning as well. Who else we got up in here early? All right. Is that Deborah? Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up. Shout out to you. Appreciate you. All right. We're going to get ready to pull my folks in. I thought I seen Deb Longo in the building. Shout out to you. What's up, Deb? How's it going this morning? It's good to see you in the chat. What up, Zephyr? How you doing this morning? It's good to see you in the chat as well. What up, Kirsten? How you doing? H-Town in the building. What's up, shipmate? How you doing today? Hope all is well. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Let me see who else is in here. Oh, it's a lot of you guys, man. All right, let me get ready to pull my folks up, and we're gonna get the show kicked off. And let's see, am I missing anybody? No, I think I got everybody. All right, perfect. What's up, Minister Denzel? How you doing this morning, brother?
Good morning, our fearless leader. Good, looking good, feeling good, ready for that battle.
Absolutely, absolutely. I thought the song was proper for today. I was going to do something different, but with everything that's going on, I think people need to be battle ready for sure.
Right on target, brother. Right on target.
You know. All
We're
right.
on the winning side.
Absolutely. Yes, Lord. What up, Celeste? How you doing this morning, sister?
Good morning, Wise. Good morning, Minister Denzel, everybody in the chat. You're right. A battle it is, and battle ready we must be.
Amen.
Absolutely. We got my sister Crystal in the building. I thought you was gonna be like somewhere out in the world somewhere.
You know what? She told me to go and do this, and she'll let me know when she's ready. So I'll just keep this running and run and get her. But good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Regardless of the chaos in this world, God gives us the position of peace, and I am so thankful for that.
Amen. Absolutely. Absolutely. What up, Mika? How you doing, sister?
It's a week, but I'm good.
Yeah. Hey, well, we appreciate you pulling out. We've been trying to get you on the show for the past couple of weeks. Mika busy over there. Superstar Mika, but appreciate you pulling up today.
Thank you.
And last but not least, newbie on the show today. What up, Edie? How you doing today? Appreciate you pulling up.
I'm so excited to be here with you all. So Leslie and Crystal, it's so good to see you again. And thank you, Brother Wise, for having me on. It's an honor. I'm so super excited and nervous.
Uh-oh, don't be nervous. It's just 800 people in here. It's not that many people, so don't be nervous.
We got your back.
We got you back. Don't worry about it. Figure it out.
Thank you. So
But appreciate you pulling up. Appreciate you pulling up today. We got a lot to get into. Hit the like button for me if you could. And I will be checking the super chat. So if you want to add anything to the conversation, the best way is super chat. I will be looking at the comment section or looking at the chat. So if I do see anything that's interesting, I will highlight it. But if you have something that you feel like we need to hear, see, read, super chat is the best way. All right. So do that for me. Appreciate you guys pulling up. We're going to get things kicked off. The first clip that I am going to play, it's on the longer side of things because I just wanted to, man, there's a crazy dude. There's a lot to get into. So it's probably about a 6 or 7 minute clip. So bear with me. Let that thing ride out and then we'll get into it. Minister Danzel, we'll give you the first word on this. But before we do, let me read this from Steven. Shout out to him with the $5 super chat. Says that has a shortage of salt to remove ice sounds prophetic, doesn't it? Sound like Atlanta.
Yep.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys saw that, but man, there's a crazy pile up north. I mean, hopefully, I didn't hear about any deaths or anything like that, but I mean the pile up's crazy. Snow all over the place, trucks, rigs, cars. Man, it's wild, man. So let's make sure that we keep those people lifted up in prayer, man. It's wild. I would not want to be up there. See, that's why I don't want to be north. This is about far as I want to be. I can't stand this stuff.
Knew you were gonna say that.
I can't stand it. I'm as far north as I would like to be, and I'm trying to go. I'm trying to go south. But hit the like button. We're gonna let this clip play, and then we'll get into it.
Today we had the honor to protest with Nikema Armstrong and the Racial Justice Network. Just like Jesus did, we went into that church and we flipped tables peacefully.
He said that you ask the Lord to stay in your house, to strengthen you on your house in order. That is correct. Well, God understands the director of ICE is a law. Justice
Renee Good! Renee Good! Renee Good! Renee Good! Renee Good! Don't shoot! 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 Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are your people? Why are you not at Whipple every day fighting for the humanity, standing for our people? Where are you? You drink your coffee, you got your jewelry, you have your nice clothes, but what do you do? What do you do to stand for your Somali and Latino communities? I'm not going to comment. You have no comment, exactly. Say your name, good. Say your name. Renee Good. Renee Good.
freedom! We have a duty to win! We have a duty to win! We must love and support one another!
This is unacceptable. It's shameful. It's shameful to interrupt a public gathering of Christians in worship.
But there were folks who will say,
I have to take care of my flock.
okay, but listen, we live in there's a constitution in the First Amendment to freedom of speech and freedom to assemble and protest.
We're here to worship. We're here to worship Jesus because that's the hope of these cities. That's the hope of the world is Jesus Christ.
I want to be very respectful. Please don't push me though.
We're here to worship Jesus.
Yes.
That's why we're here.
Yes.
Okay. That's why we're here. Okay. That's what we're about.
Don't you think Jesus would be understanding
we're about
and love these folks?
We're about spreading the love of Jesus.
But did you try to talk to them as a Christian?
No one is willing to talk.
Okay.
I have to take care of my church and my family, so I asked that you actually would also leave this building.
You don't want us to chronicle what happened?
Unless you're here to worship.
I'm always worship. I'm a Christian.
We're here to worship. Yeah. We're here to worship. Okay.
Thank you very much.
As you can see, all these pretend Christians, all these comfortable white people who are living lavish, comfortable lives while children are dragged into concentration camps. You're living real life, nice lives with your lattes, doing absolutely nothing for your Latino and Somali brothers and sisters. You come here to a man wearing a suit. Is a preacher? Did Jesus wear a suit? Did Jesus profit off the words? No! Jesus would dine with immigrants. Do not touch me. Touch me again and see what happens.
Hey, you can't.
You are a fake Christian. Why are you not standing with your Somali and Latino communities? Why do I not see you out at Whipple every day protesting this attack on humanity? Where are you? You're sinners. You're pretending to be Christians. But we know you live an easy life, don't you? A very easy life while people are starving. Shame. Out now. Out now. Living real comfortable while the people starve. Living real comfortable while children are dragged into concentration camps. You're all living real comfortable, aren't you? Shame on you. Do something. Stand with the Somalis. Stand with the Latinos. Quit ignoring this injustice. He wears a suit and tie and he hangs out with Kristi Noem. How is that a Christian? You're supposed to accept all immigrants, are you not? Why are you not going down to Whipple and joining us in protest against this inhumanity? You claim to be a Christian, act like one.
This is an operation that is secret, that they invited folks out.
This is Operation Pull Up, more of a clandestine operation. We show up somewhere, they don't expect us to come there, and then we disrupt business as usual.
So right now it's kind of mayhem. We're not part of the activists, but we're here just reporting on them. Did they explain to you why they're here?
They did not.
They said that there is someone here, Easterwood, who is a member of ICE, and he's a pastor of the church.
Our church had gathered for worship, which we do every Sunday. We asked them to leave, and they obviously have not left.
So this is what the First Amendment is about the freedom to protest.
There's a varying array of views in this church on politics of immigration. Recognize the complexity of the issue.
This shows you just how divided America is. When you look at the protesters here, and then you look at the people there who are praying, and you know what was the interesting thing? If these two groups could just get together, they might figure out what to do.
I don't necessarily agree with everything that's going on in the Twin Cities right now, but I don't think it's good to fight fire with fire. I think it's good to speak up. I think it's good to protest, but I think it's better to do it in a peaceful way.
Yeah, that was interesting to watch. This guy here, look, hugging his.
Don Lemon leads a contingent into this church that says that we're not good Christians because we're not standing with our Somalian brothers and sisters. What say you, sir?
Any black person in this country who talks about white supremacy and lets a white man dominate him every night, I can't take serious.
The administration and the fake news magas are losing their mind over something that's not even true.
Oh, no, sir. This ain't got nothing to do with MAGA. This got everything to do with you taking your faggot ass up in that church and harassing people like that. Now you want to circle back and act like, oh, well, I am in no affiliation, association. No. You are in 110% corroboration with the Democratic Party that is causing more and more and more problems. You, by the way, who keep saying that white people are devils, but you married to a white man. So does that make you the devil's broad? I'm trying to understand, what is it exactly that you are doing, and what is it exactly that you want us to think that you're doing? You are opposition to any and everything that is successful in this country. Anything that is trying to get this country together, you are in direct opposition of. But then you want to come back and try to play the victim. No. You're not a victim, Don. You are not a victim. You are 100% guilty of all the that you have already done. And then you keep doing it. Then you keep doing it. Then you want us to come in and go, oh, well, you know, it's the news. It's the news. You're a damn journalist yourself. Listen, people, I keep trying to tell you, we're doing a complete separation. If you are not a melanated American, if you are not one of our non-melanated cousins, all y'all can get out. Even the people that were born here. If you do not like this country, and Don, you got plenty of money, take your ass somewhere else. You and your husband. Why don't you go somewhere? Where is all the rest of these people? Where did what's the name? The white lady that had the TV show. Yeah, go with Portia. Go with Ellen DeGeneres. Why don't you go be neighbors with Ellen and them?
Minister Danzel, you get the first word, bro.
Thank you for this. I appreciate the first word. You should have gave me the last word. That was a whole lot of madness there. But I thank God for his word, first of all, because his word tells us how to respond to this kind of madness. I have to give out kudos to the pastor who handled himself pretty decently in the midst of that chaos. Romans chapter 12 and Matthew chapter 5 tells us the gold standard for how Christians are supposed to respond to this kind of rhetoric. But we have to remember that also 1 Timothy chapter 1 says that the law is for the lawless, and the law needs to we need to call the law on these kind of people. I know that the law in the Bible in that text is referring to the spiritual law, but we have legal laws that prohibit this kind of confusion. And I think they all need to go in jail. I hope they make them examples out of them. There was one old man in that in the videos that was shown that was being interviewed by Don Lemon, and the brother was doing a great job defending himself, and then he realized at some point that Don Lemon really wasn't a journalist, and he said, "You ain't no journalist," which is true. This guy was an activist. This is the reason why we as Christians have to be prepared and know what we're talking about and know how to bring it to the enemy when they step to us in public. Because if we do not respond properly and correctly, and if we do not school them in the public when they're making these statements, we only help their confusion. I have to say this, and it's very important that we talked about this just Friday, about how desperate they are right now. They're desperate. And this is what desperation looks like. Desperation makes fools be more foolish. It makes crazy people act more crazy. And I pray that we keep our cool. We do not do anything that justifies their madness. We cannot repay evil for evil, but we must step to them with Christian logic and rationality and with truth, and let them look like the fools that they are. Proverbs chapter 26, verses 4 and 5. Answer not a fool according to his folly, lest you be like him. Answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own conceit. We got our battle, our work cut out for us. Let's do it. Let's do what Jesus said, and let's do it the right way and take it to them.
Celeste.
Good morning. Well, let me say this. This Minister Danzel is absolutely correct. For some reason, we seem to have foreshadowed all of these events last week, and unfortunately, while we slumbered and many of us were able to commune with God peacefully over the weekend, it has escalated. And we are nearly to the point, and I don't want to foreshadow this, we are nearly to the point where we are escalating beyond rhetoric, that we are escalating to a point that is about to become dangerous. Because as the minister was saying, in desperation, these people are going to become violent. They are refusing to lose. You know, when you play a sport, the whole point of the sport is that everybody who begins the game agrees that they may lose, and they agree that they will accept the loss if it comes to them. We are in a situation now where people are saying we refuse to accept the loss. And if the only option is that you win, then we'd rather destroy the game than have you win. In my opinion, I feel like the administration, Harmeet Dillon, who I know has come out and said that they are going to prosecute where they find crime to the fullest extent of the law. I don't think they have to look too hard for crime. This is clearly a violation of the FACE Act. It's a violation of trespassing on private property. There are 1,000 charges that could be leveled. You could pick a charge, any charge that happened here. But I think would be most helpful and which would send a message is if the administration would issue some guidance for exactly what churches and homeowners should do. Should they be confronted by aggressive and possibly violent so-called protests in their private property, in their church, or on their homes. If you remember, when we let this thing go with Justice Kavanaugh, when that young man came with a rifle to shoot him to his home where his children lived. I remember when during the George Floyd riots, when a group gathered in Tucker Carlson's home when he was living in Washington, D.C., and his wife and children had locked themselves and were hiding in a pantry, calling the police, trying to get relief. We cannot live like this. And we are constitutionally bound not to live like this. None of us want to be lawbreakers. None of us want to hurt someone, but we absolutely are going to have to secure our peace. And we need some guidance in knowing exactly how legally we can secure our peace. And I will say this, and then I'll finish here. This is what happens when you live in Democrat run and liberal areas. The reason they do this is because there is a tolerance in these places of lawlessness. They know that the leadership, the law enforcement, and the actual laws that are codified are on their side so that they can do this type of intimidation and threatening tactics and kind of squeak through the loopholes and on the kindness and the so-called genteelness of the people in leadership. Come out of her. Come out of her. I said last week, this is a page out of Saul Alinsky's playbook. They are serious about this playbook. They are going to do these tactics. Please read and know and demand from your governors, and we demand from the Trump administration to immediately issue guidance that leaves on no uncertain terms what our rights are in protecting ourselves.
Mika, I'll give you the next word on this. But before we do that, I need people to go and check out Rules for Radicals. You need to go read it for yourself. And then after you read it, I got to show some love to this brother right here, man. And then after you read it, I need you to go and read Rules for Restoration. I don't know if you guys can go do that. Go do that right afterwards. So you got a full understanding of what their tactics are and then how to combat those tactics. Shout out to Michael Hancock. I'm going to try to have him on the show here in the near future, but it's right on time. Mika, I'll give you the next word.
So, well, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I saw this yesterday, and I just thought to myself, Don Limon, what is he not in? Like, what doesn't he, stir up? And ever since he's become an independent journalist,
excuse me.
I know, that's where I was going. He is the authority now in YouTube and anywhere else. But ever since he's done that, he's using that as an excuse to be, here, there, and everywhere. And he acts as if we don't know that he's being tipped off. Don Lemon is still very much mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he still has those connections. So he knows where these people are going to be. He knows that, they're going to be causing trouble here, there, and everywhere. That's why he's there already.
He said it in the video.
Yeah. Yeah. So when he's getting called out about it, he's like, well, I didn't know. No, you absolutely knew where they were going. But the problem with it is on the left, they seem to have they seem to be separate from logic when it comes to how they protest and what's really a riot, because they have everything to say about how the right does it. And, you may have some valid critiques, but the problem is anytime it's the left, it is justified. It's righteous, per se. It's on the right side of history. It's about purity. It's protecting, like the white guy that was just there talking, well, why aren't you helping your Somali brothers and sisters? Because the Somali brothers and sisters don't deem themselves my brother and sister. If you go up to a Somali, they say I'm Somali, and that's fine, but they don't say I'm American. So that ought to tell you something. Or they don't even say I'm Somali American, right? It's a detachment that they have, and it's fine. However, you're not going to be here getting our resources as Americans. You're not going to be here taking from us to send back to your country because you want to make your country great again, right? You want to get your country to a point where it can stand on its own. And I feel as though that the left perpetuates that, and more so white liberals. They perpetuate all of that, not realizing that they're not only at the demise of for themselves, it's everybody else. And I'll say this last thing. When he rode into that church, I noticed that it's not about what's righteous. It's not about what's what the word says. It's always about a political factor, and it's always about a self-righteousness. And they deem that to be a lot bigger than anything else. They invoke religion, whether it's, Islam or whether it's Christianity. They invoke all types of religions, but they don't actually believe in any of those. Nothing that they do is from, lack of a better term, a righteous perspective. Nothing that they do, right? And so I just look at it as performative, really them trying to push a narrative. And by them storming into that church and interrupting a service, I think it was a bad look. I think it was irresponsible, and I think it was absolutely disgusting.
Absolutely. Crystal, we'll get you in on the conversation. You can go wherever you'd like to go. I do want to say this. I think the churches, based off of this and based off of some of the other incidents that have happened, over the past year or a couple of years, I think the churches got to have some real conversations around security, what that looks like, what that means. They got to do a better job. What happened and what transpired over the weekend, that's not a good look at all. The church has got to figure that out for sure.
Right. So let me start off with this. They lucky they went in that church. They didn't go into a church that has a Peter.
Amen.
Okay? Because if they went into a church that had a Peter, that would have been a different subject. But they went into a church that had a John. Okay?
Amen.
Because a Peter would have explained to them why Jesus said to sell your cloaks to get a sword. They would have understood that very clearly in that moment. Okay? Now, I love how the people love to come in and tell you what Jesus would do and Jesus this and Jesus that. Jesus, they said, why aren't you standing for your Somali and Latino brother and sister? Who did Jesus say are my mother and my brother? Those who do the will of my Father. That's who Jesus said is my mother and my brother. Therefore, you can't come and tell me about what Jesus would want me to do when you don't even know who Jesus is. I'm so sick of people walking in and trying to tell people what Jesus is supposed to do. You don't know Jesus. Don't come in here talking to me about Jesus and you don't know him. In fact, sit down, shut up, and learn who Jesus is and stop running in here like a crazy person. Now, I want to point out, like I've always told everybody, Jesus is kind, not nice. People have this warped sense of reality. Jesus is kind. That means he will tell you the truth. He gives you mercy, but he's not going to tolerate your foolishness. He is not going to affirm your madness. He is not going to affirm, like they said, Jesus was about the immigrants. Yes, legal, because according to Romans chapter 13, we are supposed to submit to the governing authority. So since we're supposed to submit to the governing authority, therefore, We are supposed to follow. We're not just going to accept everybody as you commit wrong, because Jesus didn't agree with that. That's why Jesus would say, "Go and sin no more." That means stop what you're doing. But these people like to live in this warped sense of reality and try to make up what Jesus is. Jesus is a leftist. Jesus agrees with what the left does. Then you don't know Jesus. So don't tell me about someone that you don't know. I know my Father. You don't know my Father. So you need to stay out of my business. Now, on the other side of things, Don Lemon is complicit. I don't care what anybody says, because I watched all videos, and I watched Don Lemon hug, kiss that lady, say, "Oh, we haven't told them the address." He knew when they pulled up at the place, even if he says, "I didn't know where I was going," allegedly. Let's go with that. And he pulled up and he looked and he saw that church. Immediately, he should have sat his butt down and said, "You know what? I'll just wait till the parishioners come out. I'll just wait out there." But no, he went inside. Don't say you're trying to do what a journalist is doing when you went inside. Once you went inside, you became one of the activists. When he told the pastor, "Keep your hands off of me, don't push me," but you were grabbing the pastor when he was trying to walk away. So don't tell the pastor to be respectful, but you put your hands on the pastor. Absolutely ridiculous. And the fact that these
I was
people
say pastor, I'll say man. He put his hand on a man.
Exactly. He lucky that man.
What do you expect for him to do?
That's what I was saying, because let it have been another church. Let it have been another church. It wouldn't have been nice. Now, let me point out that lady, Nakia, is with Black Lives Matter. That demonic, confused, sad state of a wannabe organization wants to come in there on MLK Day. Let's just go with MLK, because everybody's like, "Yes, there was MLK." Well, the next day was MLK. So it was Sunday, and they were going, so they're saying they're standing up for the rights of people. Yet they didn't call Dakara Thompson's name. They didn't call Larisha Sherelle Thompson's name. They didn't call Jamil Shaw's name. They didn't call Jocelyn Nungaray's name. They didn't call, since they're doing righteous stuff, they didn't call Lakin's name. They didn't call Rachel Morin's name. They didn't call Kayla Hamilton's name. They ain't call none of these names. So why are you picking and choosing? This virtue signaling is weak. We don't fall for your foolishness. We don't care what you say, because y'all don't know. Y'all don't even know who you're supposed to be standing up for. You will turn your back on the American citizens that have lost their lives at the hands of illegal, criminal immigrants. But you want to sit down here and tell us why we aren't standing up for our Somali brothers and sisters who are robbing us blind, allegedly? Really? That makes sense to you? You are sitting here defending when ICE is out there trying to arrest the P3DOs and the people that have assaulted people, that have taken people's lives. You are defending those people, but you didn't defend the lives of those innocent people that lost their lives. Let me know how that works out. And this is the problem, and why I tell people, when you are a Christian, you need to take territory. That means you need to be involved in everything, every aspect of this world. You need to be involved, because wherever Jesus does not have a kingdom, the devil has made his kingdom. Okay. And why I say that? Because that attorney general could have done something, but his happy butt was sitting on on Don Lemon with DL Hughley and making excuses, saying that this was a First Amendment right. It wasn't a First Amendment right, but you're Muslim. We know that you're Muslim. We know that you ain't going to look at what happened to these Christians and think that what happened was wrong. You're not going to look at it like that. You're going to make excuses for them. At the end of the day, I look at these people and I say, you know what? They would not have done that to a mosque. They wouldn't do it to a mosque, but they will do it to the church. And I want Christians to know this is the time when you stand up. It's time for y'all to stop sleeping. It's time for all of us to stop sleeping. We need to stand up, because we have been sleeping, because they think we're supposed to be nice and we're supposed to be domiciled and we're supposed to be all of these things. That is why they take advantage of us. That is why they do the things that they do. No more. We are supposed to be bold. We are supposed to stand up strongly for our God, because we serve the one true living God. Therefore, no one is supposed to be stepping all over us like that. Amen. We are not weak. Learn to combine a little bit of John, a little bit of Peter. And that's why what you just said, Wise, I reached out to Tatum, because he part of his thing with the Black Line security people.
Yes.
They want to be able to do it for the churches as well now. So, and this is like people, to me, people should be putting money, like when they want to donate money, instead of donating to that psychopath that was running around yelling at people about their privilege. People donated, I think, what, $40,000-$50,000 already to this idiot. They should be donating to Tatum and them, where they're trying to provide security for the truth tellers that are out there in the dirt, in the muck, dealing with these crazies. When protecting the churches, that is what we should be putting our money towards. Not sitting down here looking at people like the Nick Shirleys, the Nick Sorters, those people that are out there are giving us the truth and turning a blind eye for their protection and their security. We need to have their back just as much. And I want Don Lemon to go under the jail. But not just go into the jail, go under the jail. You need
Put
to
on
go
that
under
orange, baby. Put on that orange, baby.
because you deserve every bit of it. And Nakia, who says I'm an attorney, they need to disbar you, snatch that degree, and send your happy butt to jail too, because you know better. I'm glad that Harmeet is talking about the FACE Act. She even said about the Klan Act. I didn't even know there was a such thing as a Klan Act, and you could use that. But listen, I'm excited. I looked it up and I learned what the Klan Act was, and I support it too.
Can I just say something to Crystal really quick? I think the reason why they don't bother, meaning the left, they don't bother other religions, is because they make religion synonymous with race.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah.
Right? So
that's true.
if you are familiar with other religions, and particularly Islam has all different kinds of races, but they only focus on one group. Right? If you look at Christianity, it has all different kinds of races that believe, but they only focus on one group. They're not talking about the black churches, quote unquote black churches. When they talk about Christianity, they're only talking about the white churches.
Always.
So now they have made this thing an actual race. They have made religion race.
Yep.
So when you think of Islam, you think of, just Arab.
Mm-hmm.
When you think of Christianity, it has to be a white man.
White man. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. And I just want to add, I know somebody said judge not. Guess what? John 7:24 says, judge righteously. And we're supposed to judge righteously, especially those like Don Lemon, who claims he's a Christian. When you tag on that Christian name, I'm going to judge you righteously, because Jesus calls me to judge righteously, because I need to see your fruit. And I want you to understand that we are all supposed to judge righteously. I'm no longer calling those people Christian. And I want every Christian to stop calling those people Christian, because they're not Christian. But when they want to claim Christianity, we're going to judge righteously and let you know you are not a Christian. Don't do that. You don't fall under our umbrella. Just because you believe in God, you don't stand up for the will of my Father. So therefore, you are not a Christian.
Edie?
Yeah, well, I think we could all go home, because on all of that, every now. I took the words right out of my mouth. So I chuckled when I heard Donnie say that he was a Christian. I always chuckle when I hear him say or reference the Lord, because he knows not the Lord. And when he says Jesus, don't you think Jesus would have done it? Listen, you think I don't wish Jesus had said, be the resistance, when they asked him, what do you think about the imperial tax? You think I don't wish that he said, no, that is wrong to take taxes. You don't have to pay that tax. Be the resistance. Be the insurgents. Get out there. Cause a ruckus. No, but he didn't. Because God established law. We would have no law but for the Lord. So that he's an idiot for even trying to feign Christianity. Brother, you don't know. You wouldn't know the word if it slapped you in the face. So please take several seats. When I saw that they went into the church, and why do they all look the same? Either the first guy with the beard, the scraggly beard, why do they all look like that? They have like blue hair. They have a look, like where they're going. Don't
a little dusty.
Yeah.
A little dusty.
Right? Dusty.
We can thank our previous administration for setting the precedence that if you think you've been wronged, you have a right to go cause all sorts of, or wreak havoc all over the place. I remember when they were burning down Targets and looting everything. And we had these celebrities out here saying, well, that's a small price to pay for a man being killed. Like, this is justified. Go ahead and destroy the cities. It's justified because you feel victimized. And so now this is where we are. People are going into churches, and you were correct in saying that they wouldn't do this with any other religion. They do this with Christianity because we serve the one true God. And that this is just, when people say, how do you know Jesus is real? Well, who's the one person everybody hates? Who's the one Lord that everyone hates? So that is how I know. Jesus told us, when people hate you, they hated me first. Okay. And another thing, when they say Jesus would be peaceful, turn the other cheek. Jesus said, I didn't come to bring peace. I came to bring a sword. I came to bring a sword. What are you talking about? And Jesus got annoyed with people. He said, how long do I need to be with you before you
Drove 'em out of the temple?
Right. So everyone just, I would like if they would, I would like it to be a crime if they malign the word of the Lord. I would like for that to be a punishable crime. I don't know that it'll ever happen, but that is my hope. What else was I going to say? I forgot what else I was going to say, but I think I hit the main points. It's atrocious, but as Crystal said, we just need to be battle ready. I mean, at first the disciples were told, you know, you don't need to take anything with you for the road. Just go here, here, here. Proclaim, cast out demons, heal the sick, all the things. And then before Jesus left, he said, before I told you, go peacefully. But now I tell you, take a sword with you, because it's going to get rough out there and you need to be prepared. We need to be spiritually armored, full armor of God. But as Celeste pointed out, we also need to know what we can do in the physical, because lives are in danger. We don't know what those people had with them. You know, they could have had any number of things with them to cause harm. And that preacher should have done more. Remember that back in 2020, the preacher in Canada, and he chased out the police who were trying to shut down. Like, that is what we need. Like, chase after them. Like, get them out of the house of the Lord. Get them out. That's all.
Hey, wise. Romans. I would make this last point. This is very important, because I'm hearing this from my brothers and sisters on this panel, and this is so true. We have to understand that, like I said, Romans chapter 12 and Matthew chapter 5 are the gold standard for the Christian. All Christians do not function in the gold standard. I'm going to say that again. All Christians do not function in the gold standard of Christianity. Romans chapter 12, and that's the reason why Paul said in Romans chapter 12, verse 18, he said, if it be possible, as much as lieth within you, live peaceably with all men. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody can't do that. There people have different levels. You don't want to step up on the wrong Christian who's not there yet, because you will get rudely awakened. And again, Jesus did run folk out of the temple. When you came into the house of God and disrespected it, he ran them out. No one wants to talk about that. The Bible says you reap what you sow. Be not deceived. God is not mocked. Whatsoever man soweth, that shall he also reap. That's true spiritually, and it's also true naturally. Don't get it twisted. Don't think that Christians are punks just because we are loving. People have limits, and you don't want to push people over their limits, because you will definitely find out.
So I just want to say this really quickly. First of all, I'm in this whole business is beginning to incense me. And I believe it's beginning to incense the American people. And I agree with Minister Danzel. We have got to keep a cool head. But this kind of stuff is ridiculous. First of all, this weaponization of judgment. God made us man and not beast so that we would have discernment. We are absolutely supposed to judge. The only reason the idea of judgment has been weaponized is so that people like Don Lemon, who remain unrepentant in their sin, can sashay around the world and escape any kind of criticism or any kind of account. That's why they keep telling you, stop judging. No, judge. Judge all the time, judge every day. Ask God for discernment, ask to judge in love, ask to judge in mercy the way he should. But stop walking around with your eyes closed saying, I can't have an opinion, I can't have a judgment, I can't know what's going on. This is the road to our destruction. And as for this situation, this woe to us for running men out of the church, because what was left was that feckless and weak pastor who only had to say those men should have got around that church and took those people in a circle and swarmed them, locked the doors and not let them leave, and
All the time.
somebody called the police. They
That's
should
right.
have turned the tables, and I don't mean upside down, turned the tables on those people, said, if you
Yep.
come in here, this is a place where we're in charge.
That's
And
right.
so we're going to encircle you. And nobody is getting out of this circle until the police come. There are things that could have been done
Right.
that I believe real men would have known to do. And I'm very sorry that there weren't enough present in that church on Sunday to actually protect the women and children that they say that they're responsible to lead over. So I'm absolutely finished with this. I agree with you, Wise. Stop going to the, listen, if you stop going to church and tithing to churches that won't provide you any security, y'all can
Amen.
say what you want about Islam. Way back in the day, when I
Amen.
used to attend a Nation of Islam group study, I can tell you this, it's one of the safest places I ever felt, because they absolutely frisk you at the door. And when they close the door and you go to pray, or you are involved in the worship or whatever you're doing, there are men standing by every exit with their eyes open, and they'll tell you, can't nobody come in here and disturb you. You're fine.
Hey, Wise, if someone asks you that tell you the Bible says judge not, ask them where the scripture's at. And if they don't know, tell them to go to Matthew chapter 7 and read the whole text, because it doesn't stop. There's no period after judge not. It says judge not lest ye be judged. So the statement is not telling you can't judge, just saying that if you judge somebody, be prepared to be judged by the same standard.
And they give you, minister, they give you instructions how to judge, because you can't be judging someone and then be doing the exact same thing that you are judging people on. So that is where you're not supposed to judge, but we are all supposed to judge, and we're supposed to judge righteously. And I want
you can judge. It says this text says, "Lest you be judged." In other words, you can judge all you want to. Bring it, but just remember that when you do so, you're going to be judged by the same standard. And so that's the power of that text.
This is an idea straight out of the Frankfurt School, of this idea about judging. That's one of the first concepts they put in the lexicon. And that was their pass. That was their pass to say, okay, now anything we do going forward is exempt from any kind of criticism, because now you're judging, so you can't do that. So again, the people like Don Lemon and all these folks that live openly unrepentant feel like they can come to the man of God in his pulpit and tell him, well, aren't you a Christian? Shouldn't you be doing this? I would have turned around at him and said, what did you do last night? Is that Christian? Let's go. No. You want to talk? Give me the mic. Let's go.
Come on, sis. That's what I'm talking about. Responding back. That's the response.
I'm done. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize.
You're fine. Go ahead, Edie.
Don't apologize.
I was just going to say, what's another word for a preacher? Is a shepherd. What does a shepherd do to protect his? What is a shepherd prepared to do to protect the flock when the wolves come?
That's right.
You do what needs to be done. You get them out of there. You don't stand there with a passive attitude saying, well, I wish they had handled this differently. No, get some fire in your eyes, stand on scripture, and get them out of there. There were children in there and pregnant women. I mean, can you imagine the fear and the children? Get them out of the church. Get them out.
Well, that goes back to
mess around and find out. Like, I would have just loved for them to approach.
That goes back to something that we were discussing last summer in reference to the lack of men in churches, because obviously there's a lack of men, and the men that are there are on the softer side of things. We'll leave it like that. And something has to shake. Something has to shake. We talked about those who practice Islam, and I talked about the organization, the strength that they show. That is something that is lacking, and that is something that is missing in, I would assume, majority of churches across the country right now. That is something that is lacking. And this right here, this was an eye opener. You know what I'm saying? And this was an eye opener for every pastor across the country. They have to have the thought that we got to get men in here some kind of way, and we have to start catering towards men. We cannot continue to operate the way that we're operating. Something has to change.
Amen.
Couple super chats I want to read.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Couple super chats I want to read, and we'll keep it moving. Shout out to Papa Died with the $2 super chat. Says, have the good guys ever invaded a church in America? Not that I can think of. Thank you, Beverly White, for the $10 super sticker. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Thank you, Hunter, for coming through with the $10 super chat. Says, newsflash to the loony with the beard. Even as Christians know we are sinners. Of course, when he said that, I was like, we're all sinners.
Exactly.
And fall short of the glory of God. At least some of us do. Shame on him. They broke many laws that day. Absolutely. Thank you to Sexy 1989. Oh man, I feel like I'm reading a AOL email address from back in the day. Thank you for the $20 super chat. I know y'all had one too, Mika, Crystal. I know y'all had those crazy handles from back in the day on AOL.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Midwest, for the $5 super chat. Says Don Lemon said that he is a Christian, but is married to a man, and for that other man, you can literally hear the wickedness in his voice.
Yes, you could.
Yes, you can.
He's a lunatic.
Yeah, absolutely.
That
Thank you,
demon
Papa Don,
was
for the $5 super chat. Says they called that Operation Pull Out. I thought it was Pull Up. I wish the parents had played that more often. Sorry.
I can't.
It should be Operation Lockup.
Papa Don, I can't with you, bro. Come on now. Golly. He did apologize, Minister Daniels. He said he can't help himself sometimes. Goodness gracious. Thank you, Dad, for coming through with the $10 super chat. Says they paid Lemonhead $5 million to leave CNN. They did this knowing it was wrong. Question: with the governor and the mayor in this state, what can the federal government do to put these people in jail? It's a good question.
They flew them in. They said that they listening to Harmeet. She said that they are presenting the evidence and things to the federal judges, and so that they can prosecute them, because it should have been the state, because they have the law sitting there. But when you have those type of people leading Minnesota, they don't care.
Yeah, the
so
state's
now
not going to do
the
this.
federal judges have to step. The federal has to step in,
right.
and we
Have to
just
step
pray
in.
that these federal judges don't try to block this. That's what we really got to pray on. And that's why I said all Christians need to stand up. If you need
That's
to be reaching out and making sure this doesn't get swept under the rug, because
That's
if
right.
it gets swept under the rug, people will they already put in the chat, we should
That's
do
right.
this to all MAGA churches. That's literally what they said. They said they need to go to all churches and do this now. So we need to make sure that they don't sweep this under the rug.
That's right.
Thank you, Stephen, for the $2 super chat. Says I don't really know what that word
What
is.
if our
but,
leadership does nothing?
Oh, what if our leadership does nothing? Oh, okay. I wonder what that mark is. Thank you to Brodo for the $5 super sticker. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Shout out to Francesca Manning coming through with the $20 super chat. Says, how did Renee Good's name even earn the right to be mentioned on MLK Day? I don't understand this madness. What did she ever do for the people that truly sacrificed their lives for Black civil rights? Why do they do this? We talked about this on Friday. I mean, they've been clamoring for somebody.
That's right.
They needed a body. They needed someone to sacrifice themselves. And that they've been clamoring for this. So this doesn't surprise me. Thank you, Stephen, for the $2 super chat. Says, we are imprisoned by fraudsters in Minnesota.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Thank you, Amethyst Angel, for coming through with the $5 super chat. Says, I'll be judged by 12 before I'm carried by 6. I already know the basics of my rights in my own home, whether we're in a stand your ground state or not. Thank you, Brodo, for the $5 super chat. Says, have a blessed day. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Thank you, Brian, for joining the ARP family. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Thank you, Red Bucks, for the $5 super sticker. Appreciate you as well. Appreciate you, LJ, coming through with the $2 super chat. Says, let DL and that witch show up at Pastor Wooden's.
It'd have been done. It'd have been done.
I don't think they'll do that.
That's
I
what I
don't think they'll do
said.
that.
I
Don't
said
do
if they
that,
showed up
please.
at Bishop wouldn't, if they showed up at 2819, Lord, I'm sorry for
No, don't do that. Please don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Shout out to Billy W. Gifting 10 ARP family memberships. Appreciate you, Billy. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. And shout out to Deb coming through with the $5 super chat. Says, Wise, they went to that particular church because the pastor was affiliated with ICE. Did you hear that also? So planned and organized. I did hear that. I wasn't for sure if it was the pastor. I thought it was maybe a deacon or somebody along those lines that was affiliated, but I did hear that somebody in that church was affiliated.
The main pastor. That the one who they were going after, he wasn't there. The one that was speaking there, he wasn't affiliated.
He wasn't. Okay.
But it is a pastor, because that's what I heard too.
I did hear it was a pastor. I did hear it was a pastor, and I think they said it was a pastor. But I mean, it's so funny to me that people are arguing about that when they say a pastor should get a job, and now the pastor got a job and they upset. Make it make sense.
Yep.
Don't make no difference. They were wrong for what they did, no matter what.
They're absolutely, they're dead wrong for that.
He could be a dog catcher. Don't make no difference.
Yeah. Shout out to Jackie for the $5 super sticker. Appreciate you. Thank you to Kathy Boyd for the $2 super chat. Says, grateful for your righteous judgment. Appreciate you. We got Steve in the building. Shout out to you, Steve. Man, tough loss on Saturday, man. Satan will not bother you if he has you. Yeah.
That's true.
Absolutely. Thank you, Pup Groomer, for gifting 5 ARP family memberships. Appreciate you. And thank you, Hunter, again, for coming through with the $20 super chats. I said this last night in Crystal stream, but this is a PSA to all churches that you need security ASAP. You see how quickly they took over that church. Now imagine if they had some pew-pews. It would be a national tragedy. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you, Miss Angie, for the $2 super sticker. Thank you very much. Or super chat. Thank you. And shout out to JB2 for the $1.49 super sticker. Appreciate you. And thank you, Deb Longo, coming through with the $10 super chat. It says, under the FACE Act, based on cases that I could find, sentences were limited by probation months to a few years, depending on whether there was force, injury, or repeat offenses, but not decades.
That's why they're trying to include the things like the Klan Act, because once you and conspiracy, those are the two that they're trying to tack on, because they're trying to see if they travel across state lines. I mean, Don Lemon did, but
they did for sure. But I would assume that a multitude of these people cross state lines. Once you cross state lines to do something along those lines, I think the feds can get involved at that point. Once you do that,
they got all that evidence.
Good.
Yeah, they got it. Thank you to Paul for the 50-pound super chat. Thank you very much. Watch you guys often. Love you. Bless you. Be safe. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Appreciate that. Great. Thank you to Xander Liza coming through with the $5 super chat. Says, this is no longer a black or white thing or immigration thing. It's a Christian thing. And thank you, Snake, for the $10 super sticker. Appreciate you. Shout out to Billy W again for the $10 super chat. Says, in Texas, we would have considered that a castle law invasion in my house of worship. Yeah, I don't think Texas is one of those places that they want to pull something like this. I don't think Texas is one of those places. Everybody's strapped in Texas.
Yeah.
That's not a state that you would do that. Somebody did try that, or well, not a group of people, but somebody did try to go into a church. It didn't end well for that individual. But that also goes to show you, like, where are the men, with everything that's going on? I mean, where are the men in the church that, are, operating in their Second Amendment? Like, where are they at?
They're not there.
Shout out to, is it Keila? Hopefully I pronounced that properly. I'm sorry. With the $5 super chat says, if they do nothing, then they set a precedent. Who could be prosecuted for attacking any type of religious property from then on? It's not good. Hey, Edie. Oh, hey. Look at that. Edie's got the fans. All right. We're going to keep it moving. Hit the like button for me if you haven't done so already, man. We do definitely appreciate the super chat, super stickers. Shout out to everybody that joined the ARP family this morning. We appreciate you guys. We're going to keep it moving. Man, Philadelphia, Black Panther Party. Wow. We got to talk about those guys, man. Goodness gracious. I'm going to play this for you and we will keep it going.
ever run up on me. I guarantee you they won't. I'll put a hole in their chest the size of a window. Safe line repair, safe line replace. That's what's going to happen. They touch me. Unarmed woman was killed by ICE. If you think you're about to come and brutalize the people while we're standing here, come around and find out. Our interactions with the police and ICE, and we hold them accountable. We hold them accountable. We patrol the community and we hold them accountable. The Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, we're the same Panther Party from back in the day, but we're a little more aggressive now, you dig? Carry bigger guns and we don't take no shit. Places where there are a lot of immigrants at, I think that the community around them needs to take special care to them and needs to start escorting them to and from everywhere to make sure that they're safe. Because them ICE agents ain't going to act like that if it's a bunch of people standing outside with assault rifles and shotguns. It's a semi-automatic shotgun. That means them shotgun shells that shoot out of a pump, they shoot them rapidly. If you are going to legally arm yourself with something bigger than what they got. Those who serve in the public, they should be fearful of the public. They should be fearful that the public is going to be dissatisfied with their job that they're doing, not feeling like they're tyrants, not feeling like they're bullies because they got guns and body armor and walkie-talkies. That makes them immune to whatever the people will do. I think you want to correct the ideology of the pig and the mentality of the slave catcher. You meet them with equal force. All power to the people. No power to the pig.
Can you think of anything more stupid? Can you? Are you guys seeing this? Are you seeing these corny black Democrats?
The revolution is in the barrel of a gun, whether you believe it or not.
Posing as Black Panther parties? Posing as though they are the salt of the movement in the 1960s. I was alive during that. I saw what was going on. And these cheap imitations, these Gucci bag imitations walking around, acting as though they have some sort of prestige. Did you hear the man? Revolution only comes at the barrel of a gun. He's actually using quotations from before. These YNs, they just don't get it. They don't get it. They think they're going to step on the coattails of something magnificent. But you can't. You're a part of the problem. So let me get it straight, okay? I just want you to know this from a truthful perspective. What you're seeing is not party sponsorship. It's ideological alignment and amplification. These modern Panther-branded fake groups fund themselves through small donations, online funding, and mutual drive aids, while Democrat politicians and media figures run interference by excusing, downplaying, or ignoring their rhetoric. You saw the man at the projects.
So everybody needs to unify and come together, and everybody needs to arm themselves, right?
Like it was 1970? Listen, that distinction matters, because what is being protected is not black people. It's the narrative, the Democrat narrative. When someone threatens ICE with violence and elected officials refuse to condemn it, that silence is not neutrality, folks. It's consent. And when activists aim their rage at an agency that's removing illegal immigrants from their own neighborhoods, can you think of anything more stupid? Can you? I'm fighting for my replacements. I'm fighting so that I have less resources. I'm fighting that the cost of housing goes up. I'm fighting that these people get everything before I do. Imagine the stupidity. Are there people that stupid? Yes. Evidently there are, and they call themselves Black Panthers. Instead of removing illegal immigrants from their own neighborhoods, instead of the political system that imported the pressure be removed, they want to call it a revolution. Are you getting this? They flooded your neighborhood with illegal immigrants, and they're trying to help you. They're literally the Uncle Tom coming in to stop the Sambo and the Quimbo from beating your people dead. That's not revolution, folks. You're misdirected. The original Black Panther Party stood for economics. It stood for territory. It stood for real power. That's why Democrats had them killed. Oh. Yeah, that's right. I said it. Democrats had them killed. This cheap knockoff doesn't seem to understand that. Just a group of fatherless boys, YNs, that want to run their mouth. That's all they are. No serious movement threatens the cleanup crew while shielding the people who flooded the building to begin with.
Amen.
This is how I know this is cinema. This is theater. It's not liberation.
Yeah.
And just open-ended, any comments you want to give to like my generation, the younger generation, or just any generation?
Legally arm yourselves and unify, or else you will die. And I mean that in a literal sense. You see on the news all the time, Renee. You know, everybody say her name, Renee.
Renee.
Right? She just got shot in the face by ICE, right? This is a real thing, and they're not gonna stop. And the more they hurt people and get away with it, the more they're gonna get that momentum to keep going. So everybody needs to unify and come together, and everybody needs to arm themselves, right? Because the revolution is in the barrel of a gun, whether you believe it or not. You want to be comfortable and you want to be nice. You don't want no confrontation. Look, Huey P. Newton said it the best. Anybody without a gun is either a slave or they're about to be one.
Lock him up. Lock him up.
Yeah, he should
Lock
be
him
arrested.
up.
Why are you be doing this to me? I just don't understand.
I know. We're gonna start with Meek. I want Meek to have the first word on this. This is wild, man. I feel like we're watching the 70s, 60s, and 70s. These are the new age hippies and the fake Black Panthers. And ultimately they're just a bunch of communists, essentially. That's pretty much what they are. But Mika, you can go wherever you want to go.
But what in the Ricky Martin is going on? First off, okay, I said, oh my, what? He's not even, he's part maybe at best in lineage, but he's not even from here. And then when you look him up, he's here, there, and so I'm trying to figure out, why is he the front runner? I'm like, okay, you have one, put him in the back or something. Like nobody Black was available for the Black Panther Party. All right. So that was my first thing. I said, okay.
In the whole project.
Somebody said he's Dominican, but child, I'm Cuban, and it don't matter. They're foundationally usually Black. Okay. Like what? Yeah, I was gone with that. Second, he's talking about, what the Black Panther Party was then, but he's looking at only the guns. The Black Panther Party then had structure. Okay, when they went into the state house capitol, they had structure. They understood the law. They knew the law. Everybody knew the law. They made sure that people that supported them knew the law. All right, and so this is just an anarchist group, right? They're not actually functioning as an actual party. So when you look at that, you say, well, then what's the purpose? The purpose is to cause chaos. And on the flip side, the purpose is to get Black people on board with what they're doing. Black people have been saying all across the board, it's not my fight. It's not my fight. Oh, well. And I don't care if it was the right or the left. I saw it from both sides. And so when you look at all that, you say, okay, well, how am I going to get them on board? Get them emotional. Yep. That's usually how I do something. I get them emotional. Okay, so now I get them emotional. I put up a group that they're very well, familiar with. A lot of people don't know the history, but they're familiar with the Black Panthers per se. And now you put them in here. Oh, the Black Panthers support illegal immigration. And he says, well, we're not a nationalist group. The ones then were. So how are you the Black Panthers? He said, we're not a nationalist group. We are international. And I'm just like, okay. At this point, you guys are not the party from before. And then last but not least, I don't understand how it is that white liberals tend to go to the front of the line for every issue that is Black. The Gucci boots get right to the front. Like Karen just jumps right on over. Oh, you got an issue? It's mine now. That's how it always goes. And I'm just like, the whole say her name, we know where that came from, right? Regardless of how you feel about it, that was a Black issue. Now we're saying it for who? A lady that put herself in that predicament. And you guys have not been around for anything that's been happening with anything that's happened in Chicago, Baltimore, DC. I mean, anywhere where there's a heavy concentration of Black people. I have not seen a Black Panther Party, international, not international, new Black Panther Party, whatever representation they want to call it. I haven't seen them. So I want to know, is this funded by the same people? You know, your George Soros, your Bill Gates, all those types of people? Because outside of actual Black issues, they have not been present. And now they're present. Shocker.
Yeah. Dude's a plant. And this organization is a plant. And I'd like to get a full understanding of who's funding these people.
Yep.
You the Black Panther Party for Black people, but you are, one, saying the name of some crazy radical, white woman liberal. And
That
then
part.
on top of that, you're caping for illegal immigrants.
Make it make sense.
Who have been pushed in your neighborhood to displace you,
Make
take
it
your
make sense.
resources.
Economically. And it was like you said, it's economics. They were for economics. And if you look at the social programs that the Democratic government took, they took it from the Black Panthers, which was started by the Black Panthers. And it was in the community. But now, if we take away the men, guess who we have? Daddy government.
Yep. Crystal, I'll give you the next word.
Listen, the Bible says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. And boy, ain't it true? Ain't it true? These people, they don't even know what they're supposed to be doing. Again, you are defending people who were brought here to replace you. Like I just don't understand. How do you defend people who were placed here who were brought here to replace you, who are pushing you out your neighborhoods, who are making life more difficult for you, who are taking the funds from here in America after you work so hard and sending it back to their own country? They could care less about you. I told you, Wise, I have spoken to different people, Africans, and they will never say that they're Black. They say they're Nigerian, they're Somalian, they will never say that they're Black. But somehow or the other, this man is going to pick up a weapon to say he's defending them. And the thing is, then these people will be upset when martial law comes into place. They will be upset when martial law comes in place and say, Trump, you are being a tyrant and a dictator because you put martial law. But crazy people are getting weapons in their hand and saying that they're defending something they don't even understand they're defending. I watched these people yesterday. They were arresting, either yesterday or Sunday or Saturday. They were arresting a man who was a P3DO that assaulted 3 children. Another man that took someone's life and assaulted a little boy. P3DO. And these women, as my dear Mika says, white women, a liberal women, were out there crying tears trying to defend these people. Please make it make sense. Like I don't know what, like, are we living in the Twilight Zone? What world are we living in that people think this makes sense? This guy that was out here talking, like y'all say he Dominican, he Puerto Rican. I don't know where he from, but he needs to go sit down. People like to call me a tether. No, y'all need to call him a tether because he around here co-opted this whole Black Panther. Call him a tether. Do not call me a tether. Call him a tether. Because I ain't trying to be that. He's trying to be the foundation of what used to be and doesn't even understand what it was about. Again, y'all need to stop listening to these people on the news because I've heard the Jasmine Crash Out Crockett. I've heard the crazy Ayanna Presleys, the Ilhan incest Omar. Okay, I've heard all of them yell and say that ICE is slave catchers, and it's like it's like some kind of trigger for Black people. Did they say slave? Oh my gosh, did they say slave? Oh, we have to pick up arms. They said slave.
Yep.
Slave. Like, what is wrong with y'all? Can y'all not stop and use some common sense? Oh my gosh. Wise, I don't know why you be doing this to me. You be getting me so hyped. Before noon. Listen, please, people. Why gave y'all some books? What were the 2 books? You said Rules for Radicals?
Rules for Radicals and Rules for Restoration.
Y'all need to go read. Go read. As Pastor Mitchell says at 28:19, you do not know because you have not read. Read those books, read the Bible, get some wisdom. Because your indoctrination, because I know y'all say it's a degree in education. No, it's your indoctrination has y'all walking around here stupid.
Put the link in the contacts, please.
I will.
Comments. Put the links in the comments.
I'll throw it in there. Edie, I'll give you the next word.
I thought they were against guns, the liberals. And now they want to, okay, so now we're going to take up arms. Also, can we put some respect on the Black Panther name? I'm going to call them Black Cats or Black Kittens. I refuse to call them Black Panthers.
I like Black Kittens.
How dare they? How dare they? And so these peeps are willing to kill actual Americans to protect illegal immigrants in America. I have a problem with that. My dad was an immigrant. My 3 half-brothers are immigrants, and they loved this country up until the day my dad died. He was so proud to be an American. And if you asked him where he was from, he would say America. He wouldn't say Lebanon. He would say America, and he loved America. These people do not love their own country.
Sure
and that man, that leader, first of all, let's get some better shades. Like, come on, let's step up and put shades. And he should be arrested. He should be arrested. Is that not domestic terrorism? You are threatening the American people.
That's right. Lock them up.
For doing their job. You should be arrested. And it is always the white liberal women. I don't know why. I don't know. And Renee, when that happened, they were taunting she tried to run him over. Okay. And so she got shot. And they said, we had whistles. They had guns. What are you talking about? She was driving a 4,000-pound missile at a human. That is a weapon. A car is a weapon. So sit all the way down. Sit all the way down. That's all I have to say. I'm getting worked up too, Crystal. I'm getting worked up by this.
Right here.
I'm sorry. I did not mean to get you guys all so worked up, man.
Oh, it's
Goodness
okay.
gracious. Celeste,
well,
tell me that you're upset with me as well. Okay, just go ahead and make it the trifecta.
No, I'm not upset with you. I am slightly incensed, but I do not blame you for it. There's just so much in all of this. This is really being able to look at the bad mistakes and poor decisions of us as a society all coming home to roost at one time. And again, woe is us. This is what happens when you drive fathers out of the home. There used to be a time when you could depend on the father to manage the natural aggression and restlessness of the son. Now that the fathers are gone, we have only the state to depend on to do that. And we can see that the state has been a very poor father in this respect. And what they have done now in the name of compassion and of tolerance is to throw these people loose among us. And so now we have got certainly 2, maybe more generations of young men that have not been taught how to manage their own natural aggression and their restlessness out in the world, looking for purpose and meaning that they apparently can't find through work or through building something. And so now their decision is to come to the society and use their force to tear it and us all down. This is what happens when you don't have responsible men and fathers leading and at least having a voice in the community and in the affairs of what is going on. And as far as, I don't know if he's Kabbalasian, I don't know what he is, but as far as whatever he is from the Black Panther Party, first of all, stop lying. Black people in this country, all right, we just off Martin Luther King, so now I got to do it. Black people have never had a movement for liberation in this country. Not now, not ever. Go back and look at your history. NAACP was founded by white people.
Come on.
Urban League was founded by white people.
Come on.
They always put a black face on top of
Come
it
on.
so that they could hide their nefarious money and their nefarious ideologies in a black face. Stop getting used. The civil rights movement was initiated by and funded by the Rockefellers and the Ford Foundation. Stop this idea. Black people, sit down. You have never had a legitimate, organic movement for liberation at any time, anywhere in this country. And in fact, the only people who put a stop to this is white conservatives. That's who, in fact, liberated you. It was not you marching. It was not you going against the dogs and the hoes and Bull Connor and all the rest. It was not you. Your best friend, I hate to tell you, your best friend and liberator has been the white conservative. You ought to go somewhere and say thank you.
You better thank a conservative.
That's right.
You better thank a conservative. Yes.
That's right. Exactly. Shout out, Kamala. Thank you. Another compliment.
Oh my goodness.
And we can go ahead and clip that one too.
Yes, we got to clip
that
that.
too, Wise.
Oh, it's happening. It's happening. Get in there, Mr. Desmond.
Oh boy, but at least we got some joy out of that. I hope you feel better.
Absolutely.
Amen. Amen. Listen, you know, these Panthers are doing the same thing that Black Lives Matter did. They're trying to get paid. That's all they're doing, trying to get paid. They saw how much money the Black Lives Matter got. I bet you right now you go and check. They got a GoFundMe page set up. They got all kind of things set up to get some money, and they may pull in some cash too, because they got enough stupid people out there to support them. Amen. But it's nothing but a grift, man. This is a bunch of baloney. Proverbs 14:7 says, "Go from the presence of a foolish man when you do not perceive the words of knowledge in his mouth." People, learn how to listen to the right person.
Yeah.
Recognize a fool when you see one and hear one, and you won't be all stirred up and ready to go out and shoot somebody and go to jail. And you don't want to you don't just go too far, because we have more guns than you have. And I tell you right now, you do not want this kind of craziness going on in our nation. You need to think this thing through. Do not let these demons who want to disrupt our nation motivate you to get involved with it. Sit down and think. Get the books that Brother Wise just recommended. It's going to be in the description down below. Get the books. Read a book. Sit down. Listen carefully to what's being said from our side, so that you don't go off into oblivion. This is very serious. These people that are talking about picking up guns and shooting folks, this is very serious. This is demonic. And you need to recognize when you're being manipulated by demons. Do not let them provoke you to do crazy things that you're going to regret, and that our nation may eventually regret. These people don't love America. A lot of them want to see America get disrupted so that they can take over. You need to understand the grift. This is a game they're playing. And if you do not recognize it, you're going to be a part of this corruption, and you're going to be a part of the blame. So I'm just saying, let's wake up.
Super chats, and we'll keep it moving. Shout out to BGB with the $2 super chat. Says real men have been intentionally run off. Shout out to Carter for the $5 super chat. Says that man that is from the Black Panthers better watch his step. That so-called brother is definitely being used. Yeah. Shout out to 2020 Vision with the $5 super chat. Said these so-called Black Panthers are so fraud. Where were they when Dakara Thompson? Yeah, pure fraud. Yeah. All these people coming out the woodworks. It's just like, where have y'all been? Where have y'all been?
Money.
Thank you to J Freeman Black Man with the $10 super chat. He said, my shotgun fires semi-automatic, which means it fires rapidly that fool will get people killed.
That's right. That's right.
Well, I mean, semi-automatic is not rapid fire. It's single shot, but we're not going to get into all that right now.
Are you expecting rationality?
Thank you, Sexy Red, with the $2 super sticker. Thank you to Egg Chin for the $5 super chat. Says Democrats are fighting to protect people that are stealing from not only them, but all of us. Yeah, that's what's crazy about all of this.
Crazy, man.
You know, the fraud that's being uncovered all across the country, and these people are fighting for these folks. It makes absolutely no sense to me. Thank you to Amethyst Angel for the $10 super chat. Says they never heard Gil Scott-Heron, have they? He started spoken word before it became a genre. And if you don't know, ask an elder. Thank you, Amethyst Angel. Shout out to Double Down with the $5 super chat. Says those black kittens are on Soros' payroll. Black kittens. Shout out to Hunter with the $10 super chat. Says I genuinely believe that there needs to be a study done on prolonged C-19 jabs. Okay. I think they have taken so many jabs to where it's fried a good number of brain cells. Thank you to Pup Groomer for gifting 5 ARP family memberships. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Shout out to JB2 coming through with the $2 super chat. Says, give us the $9 billion they stole. We won't forget. Eggs, yeah. Shout out to Lisa coming through with the $5 super chat. Says, dadgum Crystal. Dadgum Crystal. Tell us how you really feel. Amen. Hallelujah. Yes. Love it. Shout out to BGB coming through with the $5 super chat. Says Ford Foundation is a tax write-off. Hello money laundering and black kittens. And thank you to Mojo coming through with the $5 super chat. Says read Matthew chapter 25 verse 32 and 33. The right conservative has always been God's side. It says he will separate his sheep to the right, the goats to the left.
Yes.
All right.
It does.
All right. And thank you to G19 coming through with the $10 super chat. Says, we just like that old Panther. We just like the old Panthers, but we more aggressive and don't take no ish. Thank you to Dom Mercer coming through with the $5 super chat. Says nefarious entities have been trying to instigate a race war for 60 plus years. Hold the line, Brother Wise.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Oh, that is the plan. Celeste hit it on the head the other day.
Yes,
in reference to their game plan, the tactics. Yeah. The problem is that we don't understand their tactics. Mm-hmm. So Celeste, you're absolutely right when you brought up Saul Alinsky and Rules for Radical. I mean, you were 100% spot on.
Yeah.
And when you look at their tactics, I mean, they're following the blueprint, to a T. They're following the blueprint. The problem is that a lot of Americans, they have no idea. They probably never heard, of what you just of the book that you discussed on Friday. They've probably never heard it before, and they definitely, aren't familiar with these people's tactics. So, people need to get aware. Crystal, you hit the nail on the head, man. The people perish for lack of knowledge.
That's right. Yep. Sadly, a lot of Christians don't know about it, and that's sad. Yeah. They really don't understand. And that's because you're supposed to be the front line of truth. You can't when you side with them, you're playing a dangerous game, and you're more accountable. You have to understand that the Bible says that those that should know are more accountable than those who don't know. Mm-hmm. So in God's eyes, a Christian that supports false information and false ideals, you are more accountable than the sinner is.
Yeah. We're going to keep it moving. Hit the like button for me if you could. Appreciate you. Shout out to Jay Witt. Y'all go over there and support Jay Witt podcast, man. Shout out to him coming through with the $5 super chat. Says, these Black Panthers are just as soft as Marvel Comics reimagined. It's a reimagined character for a modern audience. Appreciate you, bro.
So true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's crazy. Shout out to LJ coming through with the $2 super chat. Says Black Kitten Roar sounds like a girl. LJ, you always trying to get me to make some sound effects or something along those lines. That ain't me. That is not me.
We were there for you.
I appreciate you guys stepping in. Shout out to Clay coming through with the $5 super chat. Says, can you please read John 15 and purify this chat with the word, bless these beautiful people.
Oh, no.
Appreciate you, man. Well, we're going to go over to your favorite politician, Jasmine Crockett. I think that's Crystal's favorite. We're going to play her. She obviously is running for Senate. And there's a couple of clips that I want to play of her. But opening it up, she was at Tyrese's concert out in Texas. And yeah, she went full hood. She went full hood.
This is about us. It is about reclaiming who we are. They want to try to act like we are the outsiders, but the last time I checked, we ain't no colonizers. The last time I checked, they took us from our homeland. But this is the only home that we know. And they have sold us a promise of America that meant that we would all have an opportunity. But right now, a lot of people's dreams are being dashed. They are telling us that we are less than. I am here to tell you that we are more than, especially when we stand together. So I just gotta say that I love my brother Tyrese. A lot of people don't know who it is that I do know because we have genuine relationships. It's a lot of people that really lack courage in this moment. But my homeboy said, listen, I'ma be in your city.
Come out on stage.
You gotta be here. And I was like, I may be in Houston because, Oak Cliff, where you at? The Cliff know who I am, right? DeSoto, where you at? Yeah. GP, where you at? All right, so the point is, Arlington. Yeah, 'cause I know y'all in here, right? I know y'all know who I am, and I know that y'all know that I'm about this life. So I was supposed to be in Houston. Ty said, listen, you gotta come back home to Dallas. So I done went all the way through East Texas. But my God said, you are coming on stage with me. I see a lot of women up front. How many of y'all got your bestie with you? Right? Let me tell you, I love this man. I know y'all do, because y'all right up front. Y'all doing the most. I know y'all do.
They're not doing the most, that's love.
This is pure racism. I don't know why we want to tinker around with it and pretend as if it's something other than what it is. I like to call a thing. And he has told us time and time again who he was when he talked about certain people being from certain shithole countries. Those are his words. Only reason I'm cussing in this moment. When he said things like, they are eating the cats and dogs. We knew exactly what we were getting. And some people are saying, I don't know how we got here, but I do. Because we know that dehumanizing, I believe that you said something to the effect of cruelty and humiliation are the point. That's what you said, Miss Patty. Because when we look at other places, say places that did things like, go door to door, looking for people as they had to hide out, say in an attic. Does that sound familiar to anybody? Or the images that I have seen of people being attacked by law enforcement, whether we're talking about dogs or fire hoses, it seems very reminiscent of something that we have seen before in this country. And then people get offended and try to say I'm too black, but the reality is that y'all never let the fact that I am black go. So I'm going to be clear about one thing. I know my good black history. And so when I look and I say, and I will say it loud and proud because the DH secretary had a few choice words for me, but this looks like modern day slave patrols. And they have been sanctioned by this Supreme Court. Whoever thought we would live in a country that progress looks like having a Supreme Court that says, yes, it is okay to look at somebody or to listen to their accent and give permission to grab them. The last time that I checked, ICE is only supposed to be doing immigration enforcement. And right now we have a record number of U.S. citizens that have not only been arrested, but as we saw with Renee, that have been killed, that have been maimed, that have been bullied, that have been brutalized, that have been unlawfully arrested. Y'all, we are living with an abuser right now. That is who Trump and his administration is. And frankly, I think we all have a little bit of PTSD. But if you know anything about a domestic abuser, the one thing about them that you need to know is that they are some of the biggest cowards that you will ever find. What they can't stand is when you actually fight back. And so thank you so much for everybody in Minnesota. But it is time for our entire country to stand together. Because if you don't recognize that we are all in the same sinking ship, whether you are black, white, Latino, African, whoever you are, the reality is that we have an administration that has decided that they are going to ignore our constitutional rights, and we will not stand for it. Otherwise, our democracy will fall. So,
did I just hear this broad say that she knows her history and ICE agents look like slave catchers to her, while at the same time representing a party that was behind catching slaves? I mean, you can't make this stuff up, you guys. So
this is how you know a lot of you don't know your facts. You're mad because they told you to be mad. The information is right there. The numbers right there. All you got to do is go do your own research.
It's wild how short people's memories are. Under Obama administration, 56 people died under ICE custody. 56. That's not a conspiracy. That's public record. According to the ACLU, under Obama, under ICE, failures of medical care, ICE malpractice. The list is long as to why and how these deaths occurred. And somehow, no mass riots. Obama deported over 3 million people. Let's not forget that, people. I say that in so many of my videos. Millions. And a lot of them were fast removals. No real hearing, no judge, no full due process. And here's the part liberals don't like to bring up. Tom Homan? Yeah, that Tom Homan? He was running enforcement under Obama. And during that time, he was given an award back in 2015 for his work with ICE. Even Democratic states allowed ICE to do their job under Obama. Here's my thing. If you're going to be mad, be consistently mad. Liberals were not mad when ICE was doing their job. All 8 years with Obama, they weren't mad in the streets. Now, I'm not saying that deaths don't matter. They always do. I'm saying the outrage only appears when it's politically convenient.
Wow.
Man.
Wow.
We'll start with Edie. We'll give you the first word. You can go wherever you want to go. I know it's a lot.
I can't believe Tyrese had a concert. And I can't believe he had the nerve to wear a cross on his neck. And why was Jasmine yelling when she had a microphone? That always confuses me. Why are you yelling? You have a microphone. We can hear you. I concur with the sentiments of the last video where they only get upset when it's convenient for them. Separate parties can do the same thing, but it will only be condemned if the other party is deemed, I don't know, racist, homophobic, all the things that they like to call Trump and our current administration. So she's a despicable human. She's inciting more violence by saying people in Minnesota, good for you. Okay, so when that spreads across the country and American citizens who are just doing their jobs are shot and killed, she'll be applauding that? Is that what I'm supposed to take from what she was saying? People in Minnesota, keep it up, keep it up, keep it up, keep going into the churches, keep running people over, let's have the black cats come out with their assault rifles and shoot everybody. That's fine. So she's promoting terrorism, in my opinion. She should not be allowed to set foot in any political landscape. Like, she should just be barred from all of that. She doesn't have the best interest of the American people in mind. She wants to support those who will support her, meaning the replacements, as we've heard mentioned earlier in the program. Brought people here to replace you, to get the vote, and let's just call it what it is. But the main thing was, I was shocked that Tyrese had a concert. So that's all I have to say.
Celeste?
How dare Jasmine Crockett harken back to the Anne Frank hiding in the attic and the Nazi Party, when in fact it was the National Socialist Party, which is which was the equivalent of Germany's Democrat Party. So what we are finding now is wherever we find Democrats, we find racism, we find the desire to enslave, and where and when they cannot enslave, we find death. Seems to be their track record. Everywhere you look, this is what they have done. So to have someone like Jasmine Crockett talk about this looks like modern day slave patrols, well, who would know better than you as a leading Democrat? Somebody should ask her. I'm willing to, if it is modern day slave patrols, certainly your party should be able to call it, because you all are the masters of that. We haven't seen anybody pretty much anywhere do any slave patrols but y'all. So this is on you, and it should be laid at their feet. And in that spirit, what every American loving patriot should do immediately is post that picture on their square on X and everywhere else of Obama giving the medal to Tom Homan, and make them defend it. Make them say why it was okay for Obama but not for Trump. Put that picture up wherever you are. You have a digital presence. If you love America and if you care about preserving America, and I'm not talking even about in the long run, I'm talking about in the next 60 days. Because who knows what these people, well, we do know if you read the book, what these people intend for the immediate future. I said before, they are losing. And they're refusing to lose. And people who will not lose can own, the only other option is to destroy. Put the picture up and make them defend their record. Turn Saul Alinsky, I believe rule number 4 or number 9 says, make your enemy live up to its own rule book. That was their rule book. Obama, as the deporter in chief, make them live up to that. Make them answer for that. Put the picture up. This is what exposing does.
Absolutely.
Excellent. And I want you to know this very carefully. This is what we've been talking about, why it's so important for us to respond to them at the moment that they make these dumb statements. Can you imagine if right after Jasmine Crockett got through with her statements in that Senate hearing, that Celeste said what she said? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine the two sisters that you just played after her, had they had those comments to make right after? It would have meant, her words would have meant nothing. But see, on CNN, MSNBC, and all of those leftist media, you only hear the Jasmine Crockett. Crockett. You only hear the Jasmine Crockett make her statement. And so that's all they hear. The response, our side's response, is what they need to hear. And they need to hear it regularly. That's right, Celeste. Put that poster up on all your social media. Let them see. Put up on your social media. What's his name? The brother that got awarded by Satan group, a Satanist group, awarded
Walls.
Walls, right? Walls for not condemning Satanism. It's a plaque. They gave him a plaque. There's a place for you. Satan has a place for you. See, we have to publicize the madness for what it really is, so that the people that are hearing this, Griff, can understand how they're being deceived. Thank you, Celeste. Thank you, sisters. Thank you for those clips, Brother Wise. The truth is out there. All you need to do is tune into it.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Mika.
On my channel, Ratchet Crockett is prime time. Okay. Because the stuff that she says, again, we platform Jasmine Crockett on the liberal side only because she's Black. That's it. That woman hasn't said one thing of substance. I don't even care that she's a liberal. I can find liberals that says maybe once or twice, maybe a couple times, something of substance. She says absolutely nothing and goes on a tirade of hair swinging as if she said something. And what she says here is the same nonsense that she always says. But here she says something about the dogs and the police and things like that. I'm like, ma'am, I know I wasn't alive, but if you tap the screen, you can understand that that happened under the Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
The dogs came from who? You. And when she talks about internment camps, ma'am, tap the screen. That happened under Roosevelt. And those camps didn't even close until Ronald Reagan. So a Republican closed them. Regardless of what you feel about Ronald Reagan, Republicans closed them. I wonder why the Democrats kept them open. It's just absolutely insane how they forget about everything that happens with them. Even when you go to immigration itself, Bill Clinton was the main driver of enforcing immigration with IRA. He's the reason why you have the backlog, because he didn't have an actual particular plan. He just wanted to stop it. He said it. Barack Obama said it.
Yes, he did. He's on video.
So I don't get the uproar about Trump. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Donald Trump. I love the president. But let me be clear. I tell people all the time, Donald Trump is what I consider a more conservative Democrat, what they would have been back then.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of things you can go and pull from the more conservative Democrats.
Yeah.
They were on board with that along with the right. So, and of course he was registered as a Democrat. So the ideas that he already have, they were already there.
Yeah.
So this tells me that it's Trump derangement.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Okay.
you.
And last but not least, they like to say MAGA, MAGA, MAGA. Well, that goes back to Bill Clinton. He said it tons of time. Make America great again. He did it in different campaigns and kept saying it, kept saying it, kept saying it. It's only a problem if Donald Trump does it, because liberals, the people that follow these Democrats, have a bad case of, I forgot I said that. I forgot I did that. And that's exactly what they do.
Yeah.
Obama has been doing this for I don't know how long. You give a man a peace prize for offing people, including U.S. citizens, during drone strikes, say nothing about it. He's going into different quote unquote regimes, some that he shouldn't even be in. The ACLU, if you go back in their archives, you can see them saying these are war crimes.
That's right.
You did nothing. So it comes to a point where it begs to say, you just don't like Donald Trump.
There you go.
And that's fine. You don't have to. But the policies, they've been in place. And if you don't like the policies, then change it. But they're not interested in changing policies. They're interested in doubling down on things that they think can not only propel more chaos, but also continue to keep a blindfold over the people so they can do what they want. And that's what's been going on. And that's what they don't like about Donald Trump, because whether you love him or hate him, he exposed it all in your face. Now you can sit here and have a debate about it versus it being hidden from you.
Absolutely. I think they just want chaos. And I think their ultimate goal is to just sow division and destroy the country. I think that's their goal. And, they're making a lot of money doing it. And there are some people out there that are powerful enough, rich enough to support and supply these people with the resources they need to fulfill their agenda, which is ultimately to tear this nation down.
Amen.
What's really sad is that what you just described, Mika, a lot of people, I don't think it's a situation to where they're pro. I just think they don't know. I think a lot of these people, they have no idea about what's transpired in our nation from a historical standpoint. It makes them easy. And I think this is all by design. They've dumbed down the population. I think we've talked about that, ad nauseum, on the show and on the channel. They've dumbed down the population. And the media is a propaganda arm for these people.
Yes.
And you got a lot of people that listen to mainstream media. They believe these folks.
That's right.
And, you know.
And they actually see Trump as a demon, as a mean person that hates black people, that's a tyrant. All of the different, I mean, I'm hearing Christians say this. And my problem is that, listen, why aren't you doing research outside of CNN, MSNBC, ABC, and all those
Minister
legacy
Denzel,
media?
that would require work, though.
Well, see, I know, but then you're
these people don't
accountable
want to
for that.
work.
You're
These people-
absolutely right. You're absolutely right, Wise, but you're going to be accountable for not doing that work. You're going to, that's my concern. I mean, when I can, like I said, I can understand sinners who don't have no foundation of morality, no foundation of desire for truth, but to hear a Christian make the statements that they're making, Trump is not perfect, ICE is not perfect, but they're trying to protect our nation. For you to condemn them as evil and criminal, and that's just not unacceptable to me. Bring the receipts and deal with the, as we said here, be balanced. If you're going to say that about him, then if he's evil, then the Democrats are Satan. You can't make him evil, and the Democrats not Satan himself. Amen.
Well, I'm with Celeste.
Yeah, they want to keep things. Sorry, just
no, go for it.
No, well, we mentioned that they like to keep it chaotic, right? Because there have been moments where it should have been a time of rejoicing. Case in point with Maduro, you know, we had Venezuelans running down the street, crying, praising the living God that they were free, right? It was, I loved watching those videos. And then you have people in America like Kamala saying, I don't care if Maduro was awful. Yeah, he was awful. He did terrible things, treated his people bad. That doesn't mean we have the right to help the Venezuelans. Does that make any sense to anyone? Well, let's keep everybody in a state of emotion so that they react emotionally. Let's keep everyone in chaos and confusion. And who is the author of confusion? I know it's not our holy God. I know it's not Jesus Christ. I know who the author of confusion is. So let's keep it confusing so people can't catch a breath to do their own research and have clarity. That's how that's conditioning. That is conditioning to make people do what you want them to do, to incite violence, they're basically using them as a proxy to carry out their dirty work.
But the worst thing about what you were just speaking about with the Venezuelan issue is the fact that, again, the Gucci boot folks,
I know.
It's the most, you want to see real racism? I'm jumping for joy, and you tell me, but you don't know,
right,
that Trump is going to be worse than Maduro. So it's worse than me eating out the trash can in the garbage truck. It's worse than me never being able to go see my family in America and they can't come see me or they will be killed. It's absolutely worse than me having nowhere to sleep, having to stand in the bread line for 36 hours. That's absolutely worse than me. And they're like, well, Trump wants the oil. You don't understand. Trump wants the oil. They're like, Cuba gets the oil. Everybody gets the oil. We ain't never got the oil. Who cares if Trump wants the oil?
Right.
We don't want him. The Gucci boots swear that they know better than you. And this is what Malcolm X talked about.
Yes.
Because people like to say, well, people on the right are racist. Maybe. But I'd rather see people tell me something to my face than people who swear they align with me only to put me on the side and then step right over me with my own issues and then tell me to my face, I don't know what I need. Like it's absolutely.
Does that make sense?
It's like it's a psychosis. It's crazy.
But that's because you're in the way. You're in the way of their real fight. And their real fight is against masculinity generally, and specifically white men. So any truth that you come up with saying, well, wait, he freed the people. Remember the lie that we were supposed to be in a nuclear war now from bombing Iraq. As far as I can see, everything is still intact. All of these doom and gloom scenarios, every time he does something, it's going to be the end of all ends. is really just a justification because you are in the way. They are busy trying to destroy the white man, and truth is getting in the way of that. And I'm telling you this, white men, it is time for you all, unlike this pastor at this church, it is time for you all to stand up. You are under attack, and this must end. This absolutely must end.
And you must not let them make you like they are. If you let's come correct. Come correct. Do this thing right. Nail them, stick it to them just the way they're supposed to be, have it stuck to them. But don't let them pull you into their insanity, because otherwise they win.
Yes.
Well, my challenge isn't just to white men. I think it's just any man in America.
Yes, sir.
This is about, it's about them standing up. And you got to think about what type of nation do you want to leave for your children, your grandchildren, your great grandchildren?
Yes.
Or your plans to stay on the sideline and just let these folks run havoc and have their way over you? We need men to step up, not just white men. We need men in general to step up.
Yes, sir.
We read a couple super chats and we'll keep it moving. Let's see here. All right. Shout out to is it Glenier? Hopefully I pronounced that properly. With the $20 super chat, says, what would the narrative be today from legacy media and far left if a mosque was attacked in the same manner? You know what it would be. Hey, mainstream media, it would be running nonstop on mainstream media. Shout out to Lisa for the $5 super chat. Says, love the truth y'all putting out there. God bless y'all. Appreciate you, Lisa. Thank you. Shout out to Chris Kisney coming through with the $10 super chat. Says, pray for me because I work in Society Hill District of Philadelphia. Wealthy white liberal women are growling at me. Oh, Lord. Y'all make sure y'all keep her lifted up. Thank you to Lisa Lopez coming through with the $2 super sticker. Appreciate you. And shout out to Lisa joining the ARP family. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Sexy Red coming right back through with the $2 super sticker. Thank you very much. Thank you, Papa Dodd, for the $5 super chat. Says, now instead of saying you're full of ish, we're going to say you're full of Crockett. Sorry, Pastor, last one, maybe. Leave it to Papa Dodd, man. Goodness gracious, dude. We got to work on you, man. We got to work on your heart, man. Shout out to Carter coming through with the $2 super chat. Says, well, Jasmine, it takes one to know one. Yeah.
Exactly right.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Blue Chick with the $2 super chat. Says, any way to get short buses, blacks to be a puppet. I don't really know what that means, but okay. Shout out to History Bear with the $5 super chat. Says, we are not a democracy. No, we're definitely not that. And she is speaking treason under Article 4, section of the U.S. Constitution. Yeah, we're definitely not a... and thank you again for the $2 super chat. It says section 4 within that article there for those that would like to go and check that out. Thank you, Pamela, for coming through with the $10 super chat. Says, thank you for the sanity and truth. Very refreshing. Thank you. Appreciate that. Shout out to the Jamodi coming through with the $5 super chat. Says, Donald Trump is a Jehu. Now the people are forced to pick a side. Shout out to the Lone Wolf coming through with the 55-pound super chat. Hi there from Europe. All right. Shout out to Europe in the building. I watch a lot of news from the U.S., but the Democrats and how I call them the new Nazi. Sorry, that's the truth. I watched the church mob news after the influencer going to the mosque who paid this, Al-Shabaab and the Libs Dem. You call them the New Age Nazi Party. I think they are they were the Nazi Party before the Nazi Party. Those folks came over here and studied the Democrats.
Yes, they did.
They are the original.
That's history.
That's correct.
True.
Shout out to what is that? X Kurtat with the $50 super chat says, slavery is America's oldest scar. We may hide it with clothes, but will always be there to be seen. People who love America look at it with pride as something we overcame, while people who hate this country are trying to tear it back open. Love you guys. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Shout out to Steven with the $2 super chat says, more John Wayne, less Don Lemonine. I'm not a big John Wayne fan, so yeah. No John Wayne for me. Shout out to the Lone Wolf coming through with the £2 super chat says, well, Al-Shabaab lose their founding. Facts. Okay. And thank you to Christine coming through with the $2 super chat says, thank you for speaking the truth. Thank you very much. Oh, we got one more. And shout out to what was that? Sonis Jay with the $2 super chat says, white men. Okay, appreciate that. Thank you very much. Okay, we got Crystal back in the building. Shout out to you, Crystal. All right, we're gonna keep it moving. I want to play this last little clip. I don't know if you guys heard about what was going on. Hold up. He says, aren't men? Okay.
I think he was saying men aren't men, meaning men aren't men nowadays.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, yeah, Tato said, he said, white men aren't men.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay. Let me pull that down. All right. So you got a lot of billionaires out in California. Well, they're leaving California. They're fleeing California because of this billionaire tax that they want to implement. I'm gonna play this clip and we'll get into it. I want to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts on it? A second.
My feed this morning and I see Larry Page, co-founder of Google, just dropped $173 million on 2 mansions in Miami. Not one, but 2. And I'm thinking, why is the guy who helped build Silicon Valley running to Florida? Then I saw Larry Ellison, Oracle, sold his San Francisco mansion for $45 million. Peter Thiel, Miami. David Sachs, Austin, Texas. Sergey Brin, the other Google co-founder, moved 15 companies out of California 10 days before Christmas. And Chamath Palihapitiya posted this on January 1st. People I know with a collective net worth of over $500 billion scrambled and left California for good yesterday. $500 billion gone in one day. So I started digging. Why are all these billionaires running for the exits at the same time? And what I found out, well, it's going to cost you some money. And here's what's happening. A union, our favorite guys, SEIU, the Healthcare Workers Union, is pushing a ballot measure for November. They want a one-time 5% wealth tax on every California billionaire. Sounds great, right? Tax the rich. Get the billionaires. They can afford it. Well, here's the catch.
Robert Frank is at the table this morning with the details on that hidden feature.
Yeah, I call it the
Is
hotel.
it hidden feature? Some people call it a bug.
It's a bug. It's.
You're talking about roaches.
I call it the Hotel California provision. So we've all heard these reports. Peter Thiel, Larry Page, and other California billionaires threatening to leave the state over this possible billionaires tax, but they may be too late.
They made it retroactive to January 1st, 2020. That was 10 days ago. So even if this thing doesn't get voted on until November, if you were a California resident on January 1st, you owe. Most billionaires didn't even hear about this until December.
Most people in California first heard about this in December, so it means they would have only had a few weeks to do all these things and actually get out in time.
They had a few weeks to move their entire lives, homes, doctors, bank accounts, cars, country clubs, businesses, or get hit with a bill for billions of dollars. Larry Page is worth about $270 billion. 5% of that is $13.5 billion due to California. Larry Ellison, $192 billion. His bill, $9.6 billion. So what do? They ran.
New reporting shows that at least half a dozen billionaires have already left the Golden State. Up to 20 more could be packing their bags as a proposed 5% wealth tax remains on the table. The latest, Google co-founder Larry Page is headed to Miami, Florida. Peter Thiel, Larry Ellison on the move to red states like Texas and Florida.
And here's where it gets real for you and me. You see, Sacramento doesn't stop spending when billionaires leave. They can't stop spending. They're addicted to it. Right now, the top 1% of earners in California pay 40% of all state income tax.
The top 1% of income earners generate 40% of the income tax revenue in California already.
40%. When those people leave, that money doesn't magically appear somewhere else. It comes from you. San Jose Mayor Matt Mahan, a Democrat, said it this week.
I think that the unintended consequence is likely to be fewer high-paying tech jobs, less economic opportunity, and in the long run, I think it's likely to lead to more of a burden on middle-class families because the state will have to turn to them as we lose billionaires and they relocate their companies out of state.
The Democrat said that. He also said the damage is already being done because here's what people don't understand. The billionaires, well, they're fine. They got planes, they got lawyers, they got accountants who moved their stuff to Miami in 72 hours. You know who can't leave? You. The guy with a mortgage, the family with kids in school, the small business owner with a lease. You're the one who's stuck here when the tax base disappears. In Sacramento, they don't cut spending. They never cut spending. They just find new people to tax. Guess who the new person is? That's you. Now, the union pushing this thing, they say it's for healthcare and schools. 90% for healthcare, 10% for K-14 education, and food assistance. Sounds nice, right? Let me ask you something. California spends more per pupil than almost any other state in the country, and we rank 37th in education. 37th. You want me to give you more money for something you already suck at? Healthcare. Well, we just passed Measure A in the Bay Area, another tax increase. Why? Because we were short on emergency room funding. Where'd that money go? I'll tell you where it goes. It goes to healthcare for people here illegally. It goes to food programs. It goes to what I call fake college programs. It goes to NGOs. It goes to private groups with nice sounding names who get fat contracts and deliver nothing. It's the same scam, different name, different year. And here's the kicker. The federal government just estimated that California has $20 to $30 billion in fraudulent unemployment claims.
Estimate that we've had $20 to $30 billion in fraudulent unemployment claims
exposed by the Minnesota scandal, under investigation right now.
That's a lot, man. That's a lot. We'll let Celeste kick this off, but I mean, it's crazy.
Wow.
David Sachs and Chamath talked about this 5% last week on the All In podcast, and they were saying the number of billionaires and multimillionaires that are leaving California. I talked before, I had written a piece called Refugees on the Move, and people who are leaving these high tax blue states, because what the blue states are doing is, since they have run out of the normal taxation scheme, does not generate enough income for all of these social welfare programs, plus the stealing that they tend to do. They now have got to do this exorbitant, which is a punitive tax. Talk about regressive taxation. This tax is punitive on builders. So basically, if you were somebody with an idea and you were able to develop, take all the risk, put your own money in, and create something that now people want, and therefore you are now reaping the rewards of that, this is to punish you for doing so. And the danger in this is not that this is so-called one time. First of all, nothing's ever one time. There's always a mission creep. So just to believe that's not true. But the danger in all this is the fact that they want to go back to 2020. So they want to enact a law today where you behaved appropriately and non-criminal, and then say, yes, back when you were legal, we now say that's a crime. These billionaires need to get together and take this to the Supreme Court.
Class action
Because
lawsuit.
you cannot tell me that I committed a crime, meaning I didn't pay my proper share of taxes at a time when I was not obligated to pay that share of taxes. You are in here on trying to twist me into a financial knot, and they should not accept this. The billionaires should not take this sitting down. They should not have an attitude of, okay, well, we're going to leave and we'll spend all our time legally fighting it. No, they should make a demonstration of this, and they should come together in a class action suit and say, you cannot criminalize behavior today that was not criminal yesterday, and therefore enact a penalty upon me because of it. This is completely unconstitutional. They need to stand up. They certainly would have my support, not that they need it, but they would have my support in doing so, because when you do things like that, what you do is free other people, because we know you're not going to pay. Who is going to pay is who always pays, is the working and middle class. Take your money and free us from this, because when they can't get it from you, they will now come to extort us and say, hey, you owe us money that you never paid, that you didn't owe, but now we need it.
Yep. Retroactive taxes. This is insanity.
And
How many
basically,
jobs just left California?
it's punishing people for leaving. And everybody watch out. Everybody thinks it's a West Coast thing. New York is next. They are punishing people for leaving because they cannot survive without this money. They cannot keep the fraud going, and they cannot keep the safety net, social safety net grift going without that money. The money is the fuel, and they need to, and the people who are trying to divest themselves of having to live under this financial tyranny, which is exactly what it is, and go somewhere else, they're punishing you for leaving. They can start a law today and say, even if you leave California for the next 15 years, you have to pay taxes. What's to stop them? These people have to be stopped now.
Absolutely. And you're absolutely right, Celeste. This won't be one time. This is the test. Let's see if they'll pay it. Because if they pay it, we're going to hit them again another 3 to 4 years. And there's in the name of helping out your fellow man. Y'all already know what time it is. Democrats, they're not into, there's one, they want the money. And we got to increase revenue. What does that mean? You notice they never say, hey, we want to raise taxes. We got to increase revenue. That's the term right there. Increase revenue, for those that don't know, that means they're going to raise your taxes. That's what that means. Goodness gracious, this is outrageous. It's crazy. Crystal, you want to go? You're muted.
So how I see this, the Lord has been been putting in my spirit this whole where he put do not covet.
Yeah.
And he talked about covetousness, and he said and he's been downloading in my system that covetousness is literally the basis of the foundation of all the sins that we commit in this world. Let's just be real. It is covetousness across the board. And all I see in this is covetousness at its highest level, because they have created a space where the billionaires who already pay, as he said, 40 to 45% of the taxes as it is. The top, I think they said the top 10% pays about, or the top.
The 2 to 10% pays, I think they pay 30 to 35%, and then the middle class pretty much cleans up the rest from there. So
exactly. So what you're basically telling people is that people who have been innovated, who have stewarded what God has blessed them with correctly and all those things, they must be punished because you haven't done your part. And not only that, we, the government, we're not going to steward it correctly, because we're going to take all of this money now, and we're going to fund all of the illegal stuff that we're doing, like the illegal immigrants that we're trying to take care of, and all of the fraud that California is quickly being caught doing, quickly being caught. So we need y'all to keep paying so that you can cover all of our fraud, because you know what? It's okay that Gavin during 2020 and all that bought a brand new big mansion while everybody else was suffering. Come on now. It's okay. But you know what? He is standing on the right side. And this is why y'all have to keep supporting him. And you know what? Think of him not as a sleazy car salesman. Think of him as your sleazy car salesman, future presidential candidate. That is what this is all about. I'm telling you right now, these people are wicked.
Thank you.
They are wicked beyond belief. And the fact that the SIU, what was it? SIU, the union wants to sit here and cause these issues. I want people to understand. I don't understand why people don't understand how this works. You keep frustrating these billionaires, you don't have jobs anymore. Like, I don't understand how people don't correlate those two. You keep pushing them, they're going to say, you know what? We don't want to be here anymore. We're going to take all our jobs and all of everything else, and we're going to move out of your state. Where are you going to work? So all this protesting, what is that going to do for y'all? Y'all are not going to have a job anymore. Y'all are going to be. Isn't California full of homelessness as it is? They even have a poop map. Like, who has a poop map to be careful where you step so you won't be stepping on poop? This is problematic. So clearly, the people that are leading y'all state is trash. And y'all have the midterms and other things to do to get rid of these problematic people. This law, y'all should, if I were y'all in California, just like I told, let me tell y'all, wisdom, she speaks. She. Notice wisdom is she. She speaks. So listen, we warned New York. New York didn't listen. Then everybody wanted to run. And before they could run, they trapped them in New York by locking them in them houses that they can't just easily sell no more. Now we're warning you all in California. All y'all blue cities, all y'all blue states, y'all better get rid of these problematic people. Because I'm telling y'all will be scrapping at everything, trying to make ends meet. Don't come to our red states. We don't want y'all. Georgia's full. Florida's full. We don't want y'all. So y'all can't escape y'all blue states that y'all made atrocious and try to run to our red states. Keep it there. Keep it over there. We don't want y'all. Because if y'all agree to this foolishness, I don't know what to tell y'all. Y'all are basically cutting your nose off to spite your face. That's literally what y'all are doing. And y'all need to get a grip.
Yeah, but also don't move and vote and fund the same people that you fled.
That part.
Don't do that.
That part.
Don't move. I mean, have you guys, I mean, Austin, Texas had a major tech boom. And have you guys seen Austin lately? It's terrible out there, man. It's like one of the worst cities in the state of Texas right now.
It's crazy
Because these people fled California, moved to Texas, and then they brought their crazy with them.
Yep.
So no,
There you go. Come on.
Don't vote and don't fund the same people that you are fleeing.
Amen.
Don't do that.
You're right. In fact, I just want to add this one thing. When y'all see people like Crazy Crockett, because I didn't get to speak on her, Crazy Crash Out, Crooked Crockett, and people like that, y'all need to run away from people like that. Y'all need to do like some of these immigrants that have come to America and they know what they left. And you will hear those people from China, those people from Venezuela, you hear the Cubans, you hear all of them to tell you, y'all don't want communism, y'all don't want socialism. They say it all the time. They vote against it because they have learned their lesson and they don't want that in America. So y'all need to do that when you leave the blue states and the blue states have destroyed you. Don't come to the red states and bring your blue states habit. Learn from the immigrants, please.
I'll give you the next word.
You and Wise are absolutely correct, but it's I don't know if you guys saw it, but during Mandami's time, there was Muslims against Mandabi. They're like, we're from Iran. We don't want that here. And so, and the mainstream media never put it up. They showed everything else but that.
They won't. That's right.
Yeah. And as far as blue states, people running from the blue states to the red states, it don't have to be just that. They can stay in a blue state like Maryland, and they can run from a red county. That's essentially a red county, even though we don't have representation, and go into another county from a blue county. Like PG County here is blue, and they ran down into Charles County. And now they vote the same exact
Vote the
way.
same
And
way.
now Charles County
That's insanity.
property taxes are through the roof. I'm like, oh my God. So they can do it in the same state. So you both are absolutely correct. But as far as the one time tax, we have been here before. It's called income taxes.
Never ended.
Income taxes are not constitutional.
Go ahead,
It
Mika.
never ended.
Go ahead.
And they never put a sunset clause on it. You got used to paying it, and okay, we'll keep
That's
paying
right.
it.
Yep.
Keep
And
paying
then
it. We'll just
think you
make it
commit the crime
normal.
if you don't.
And it was 1% at the start.
That's right.
Yeah.
True.
And so that's where you have the people as the workhorse. And that's why you get to the increased revenue. Yeah, we can just keep taxing you. The people don't put a stop to it. They don't know the law. They don't know that you can't make any of these, state US codes against the Constitution. Nothing can supersede the Constitution. That's
But
why
you
I
have to know
don't
the
like
Constitution.
That's why I don't like people saying it's a democracy, because
Exactly.
a republic and a democracy were
Two
two
different
different,
things.
ways. They're the same as far as the representation, but one is literally mob rule
That's right.
versus
Sorry.
by the document.
Right.
So
Well, you see it in the states, though, right, Mika? Each state is basically ran as a democracy. That's how you can have a California out there with basically one party rule, mob rule. Although you probably have 40% of the state is conservative or Republican, but they have no say.
and have the nerve to be the Republic of California.
Yeah.
Right.
Shocker. But exactly. And so when you see these billionaires, leave, I know people have a negative view of billionaires, but this is one of the only countries where you can go from nothing to something. And let's say I grew up poor and all of this, and I get to being a billionaire. Now you're going to say that I should be punished because I did something correctly. And then what about all the jobs that I bring to this specific area or state? We just discount that. Who's going to fill up the jobs? They have like one oil refinery left in California that's on the brink of destruction there. So where are these people going to go? How are they going to get taxes? Where are the jobs? Like it's a mess. And they want everybody else to pay for it, meaning they want federal dollars, meaning I'm here in Maryland and I have to give California money because they don't know what to do. Meanwhile, Maryland's going through their own thing. It's absolutely insane. And I honestly think that that's where the country is going. The country is going to a lot of people that are conservative are going to be on one side of the country and others are going to be on the other side of the country. And I really would hate for that to be, because I don't want a similar situation to a civil war and people so divided in one country.
Right.
It would make absolutely no sense. And other countries have had this.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it never bodes well. So, I really do think the billionaires should push back, because if they can do it to the people who have the most money, what do you think they're going to do to you?
Exactly.
Well, once the jobs leave, I mean, you basically also took the middle class as well. Because the middle class works for these organizations. So if the one person, they said Google moved 15 businesses, what do you think the people are going to do? You think they're going to stay in California? There's nothing there for them. They're going to move.
Yeah.
They don't have a choice but to move.
And and it's sad that the people on the left won't admit that, because there are liberals that move from California.
A bunch of them.
And when you go to ask them, you say, well, why did you move from California? Oh, this, that, and that. It's not the policies. And then you go vote the same exact way.
And then you do it the same. Yeah.
And you're like, I got to move again. No, it's you. It's you.
Yeah, it's you. Everywhere they move, they do the exact same. What you mentioned about Charles County, they've done it in Nashville, they've done it in Austin, they're doing it in Salt Lake City. Everywhere they move, they flee poor, or bad policy, only to fund and vote people that implement the same bad policy that they fled. It makes absolutely no sense to me. None.
Because it's insanity.
It's insanity. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Edie, what's your thoughts?
Symptomatic of the mind. Yeah, it's completely symptomatic of the mind virus that is the left. And I really, I appreciate you having me on. I'm learning a lot as I go, because before the Lord saved me on November 1st of 2020, I, like, this past election is only my second time voting, because I was one of those that said, oh, my vote doesn't count. It's all rigged. Like, it really doesn't have anything to do with me. Only after the Lord saved me did I realize, oh, it's bad out here. And I need to be smart about things. I think, Crystal, did you say, either Crystal or Celeste said, no, I think it was, sorry, Danzel, forgive me. We need to be at the front lines. That is so true. That is so true. So I'm not all knowledgeable in the world of politics, but I'm trying to learn as I go. I will say it is completely symptomatic, as I mentioned, of the mind virus that is the left, to leave because of the policy, but then vote for the same policy. To what Celeste said earlier, the billionaires need to push back. Unfortunately, I think that there's a level of apathy amongst that group. So it's like, well, I have the means, I can leave. So I'm going to leave instead of pushing back, because in my opinion, most of them, because we would have seen it already, don't have a compassion for, us laymen down here. Like, it's going to affect you. You're going to not be able to work. It's really going to hurt the state, but I can afford to leave. So I am. Like, I don't have the energy. I don't really feel like pushing back to help my fellow man. So and also there's just, I'm sorry, I know I'm all over the place, but there's nothing new under the sun. What we have, what we see now has already been the best predictor of future behavior is relevant past behavior. We're going to see the same thing over and over and over until people wake up. And I hope people wake up before it's too late. I hope they have an awakening like I did. Like, again, I don't know everything. I probably know the bare minimum, but you can try each day to acquire more knowledge so that you can combat these horrific injustices that we're seeing and that we're going to see spread throughout the country. Like, it's not just a West Coast issue. It'll be everywhere.
And can I say something? This is the failure of the church. And we have to put this square at the feet of the church. The church should stop allowing people to so-called be liberated in Christ and the debt slaves of Caesar. That is not good enough. That is not acceptable. You can't be free in Christ and a slave somewhere else, because the Bible says a slave cannot serve two masters. So any church that is not teaching you how to leave the debt slavery of these people, that's what taxation is. It is debt slavery. It is a tax upon your labor, which, I don't want to get too deep into this, but I'm not sure it's even constitutional that your labor can be taxed. And I think that's why you don't actually, if you look at your form, I just got mine. If you look at your form, you are never taxed on income. You are taxed on a wage. A wage compensation for labor. Go learn about this stuff. None of it's legal to begin with. But I will say, I see you, Mika. I will say this. The fact of the matter is they've been allowed to perpetrate this fraud upon us because the churches, and I'm not going to mention the schools because everybody knows I think they've been derelict from their inception. But the churches have lost the plot. And that's why you have no respect among your congregants, and you're in the position you're in, because you have basically watched them shepherd us off into this debt slavery, and you have not said a mumbling word, but God go with you as you serve Caesar. That is not your job. That is the antithesis of your job. And people cannot be free in Christ being a slave to Caesar.
Absolutely. Y'all said a mouthful. I think that, man, if people don't take note of what's been said here today, they have no excuse for what they're suffering. The madness of the state of California. And we said that this was going to happen as a result of them being exposed and all of the fraud being exposed, that their money source has been removed. And now they're desperate. So now they're showing their desperation by being crazy. This is just plain stupid. How do you put a proactive tax on billionaires who sustain your state? And again, also said that the billionaires need to wake up and start doing the right thing. And the people who are leaving need to wake up and do the right thing. Like you said, it doesn't make any sense to go to another state and do the same thing, vote the same way, and then bring that state down. And states may have to start figure out a way to put some kind of barrier against people coming in their state and destroying their state.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, because listen, if that's what's happening, something has to be done. You're not gonna come over here in my house and make my house dirty like yours. You can tear my house down like you tore your house down. So sometimes the best thing may be to stay where you're at and wake up and start voting properly and start legislating properly and start putting your minds together to stop the craziness that's going on in your state. Because we do not want a divide. We do not want a divided United States with liberals on one side and conservatives on another side. We want the mixture. You just need to wake up in your own state. Amen. It doesn't take long to do that, but my goodness, allowing it to go on for so long is what's causing the problem. And I think this is insanity. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting to get a different result.
That's right.
It just doesn't work. And so, yes, we have to notify these people. You cannot come over into a blue state where things are going well economically and bring your madness there. You guys brought a very excellent point when you said that. Millionaires, I said before, we said the millionaires, they're going to leave. Make sure they grab some of those other companies that are there too. Make the state really suffer. Make them suffer. If they suffer enough, they'll wake up. Maybe. The people there will wake up. Because like you said, everybody that's in there can't leave. So that means wake up, and push back. Use your rights to turn that beautiful state blue.
Red.
Red. Thank you.
Well, when you look at, and Mika, you hit the nail on the head. We live in America. This is the one place that you could start off at the bottom 10%. You could definitely work your way into the middle class.
That's right.
And if you're willing to put the work in and take some risk,
yes,
you can find yourself in the top 1% if you're willing to do that. And we shouldn't be punishing people for being risk takers.
Amen.
And that's what they're attempting to do.
Yes.
That's what they demonize all the time. They'll say, well, the CEO is making this much and we only make this much. And I can understand, maybe bottom barrel wages, but most people do make a livable wage, but it's just, whatever the policies are in that state, the taxation, all of that, all those factors matter. But then you add in the fact, well, why does the CEO get so much? The CEO, the founder, has taken all of the risk.
All the risk. Yeah. And the last I checked, poor people don't employ anybody.
No.
So,
So if I invest more, I should get my money back.
Exactly.
But that's what I'm saying about being covetous. The Bible was very clear about that, because you're so busy watching what he has instead of stopping to figure out, what can I do for myself? Because this is about innovation. This is about putting the work in. This is about figuring things out. But they choose not to do that. They rather covet what this billionaire, this CEO has, and whine about it, and then want to go to daddy government and say, well, it's not fair that he has that much. Can we figure out how to make them? Yes, let's take it from him, because it's not fair. He has all the money and we don't. And it's just absolutely ridiculous. And I wanted to say to what Celeste was saying, the thing is, because they were able to get Marxists into the church, that is why the church isn't speaking.
Yes,
because there's so many of them that have come into agreement with this mindset.
Yes.
Instead of them knowing what the word of God says, they have now weakened their people. And listen, we all know, as followers of Christ, they're going to have to answer to God for this, because that right there, you wear a heavier crown on your head. You have more responsibility when God has asked you to lead a flock. So you're sitting there and you are leading people, instead of telling the people that we as Christians are supposed to go out and take territory, and we're supposed to occupy, and we're supposed to be involved in everything so that we won't be slaves to the world and to the system. They're telling them, no. We are not of this world. We just reside here. Their favorite thing. We're just sojourning through to heaven, but we ain't there yet. That's why he said to not why we here. So that's what we're supposed to do. And to what y'all were saying about the billionaires, you have to also understand these billionaires, though. A lot of them are in that same agenda, that agenda 2030, that agenda 2050. They're in that mindset. So are they willing to step up and say, we are going to fight against this? No, because if they're part of that movement, if they're part of that agenda, they don't care. It's moving into the way they want it, which is the haves and the have-nots. It's the where you own nothing and be happy, because in their mind, they are part of the crew that will own what they own, while we are the ones that are owning nothing, and we're supposed to be happy because they said so. So I don't think they'll fight against it, because a lot of them are part of that agenda.
But not all of them. Thank God. We have a lot of billionaires out there who love God, who believe in God.
Mhm.
They need to step up. They need to step up and stop hiding. They need to step up and get that word out and start supporting other people who are willing to do the work. We need to to connect with those people who have that kind of money. Even if they don't want to be the ones to say it, put some money behind somebody that is saying it.
Yeah. Facts.
Yep.
We're gonna get ready to get up out of here. We'll read these super chats, and then we'll get ready to get up out of here. Shout out to Linda Griffin joining the ARP family. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Shout out to Mr. Hardcore Mode coming through with the $10 super chat. Says, I'm an uncle, being the best for my nephews. I want their future to be bright. As soon as you hire my nephews for their skin color and not merit, you are my enemy.
Absolutely.
Okay. Shout out to Miss Angie coming through, $5 super chat. Says, we're in a war with good and evil, good versus evil. Put your full armor of God on, suited and booted. Okay.
Amen.
Uh-oh. I don't know what Papa Dot's gonna say, but $5 super chat says, the super chat white man just said, white men are bad. See, this is what happens when Dems come here and get confused. Gotcha. Shout out to Clay with the $10 super chat. Says the news functions as the Roman Colosseum, a device to redirect the anguish of tribes toward each other. They emotionally manipulate us by pre-exposing us to pain and trauma, weaponizing passion.
That's true.
Propaganda arm. We've been saying that for a while.
Yeah.
Sons comes through with the $2 super chat. Says, I was trying to say something generally about.
Here's about what the white men. Yeah.
Let me go ahead and let me see. Half of them are weak, and the super chat blocked that comment. Gotcha. Okay. All right. Thank you for the $2, the multiple $2, $6 super chats. Appreciate you, bro.
Amen.
Thank you to the Lone Wolf coming through with the £6 super chat. Says, well, sorry, Cali kids, learn math and not all the gender stuff. I am 40 years old. I learned in post-communist school, my IQ with 8th grades. Way better facts. Okay. All righty. Thank you for the $20 super sticker. Appreciate you, Glenn. And thank you for the £2 super chat. Says, don't say I'm in, it's Islamophobic and racist. Okay.
Amen.
All right. And I think he's I believe. Thank you for the $2 or £2 super chat. Thank you, Deb, for the $5 super chat. Says Hashimi, a state senator won lieutenant governor race in January 2026 in Virginia. First Muslim woman elected, serves as Virginia lieutenant governor. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Democratic Socialists of America.
Oh yeah. They're in thick. Thank you, Stephen, for the $2 super chat. Says, how about more Stephen Miller and less Don Lemon?
Absolutely.
No argument for me on that. No pushback. And thank you, History Bear, for the $5 super chat. Says, leftism and Islam come from the same source. Therefore, they have the same goal. The source is Satan, and the goal is to take over wherever they go.
True. Good point.
And last but not least, the Lone Wolf come through with the £2 super chat. They did not feed Islam. They migrate. Sorry. All righty. And with that being said, we're going to get out of here. I appreciate you guys pulling up today, as always. Thank you, Mika, for blessing us with your presence this morning and going into this afternoon. We definitely appreciate you coming through and pulling up. Thank you, Crystal and Celeste and Minister Danzel and Edie as well. Thank you for pulling up and hanging out with us for a little bit today. Shout out to everybody that supported the channel financially this morning. I definitely appreciate you guys. Okay, I thought she popped back.
Sorry, guys, I'm on my phone.
No worries. No worries.
all right.
But appreciate
We
you
can
pulling
finally
up
see
today.
you.
Thank you, Edie. Appreciate you pulling up today. Appreciate your support. World Radio with the $2 super chat says, how many of those protesters at church from Minnesota?
I bet like maybe 2 of them, probably, maybe.
Yeah, we're gonna get out of here. Thank you to all the Blues for helping to keep things peaceful. I know it was a little hectic, especially about an hour ago, but shout out to you guys, man. We hit almost 2,800 people in the chat today, so phenomenal. Wow. That is phenomenal. That's awesome. Hopefully all of those folks also hit the like button. Thank you, Blues. I appreciate you guys hoping to keep things peaceful in the chat. We definitely appreciate it. Shout out to all the ARP family members. And thank you guys to everybody that pulled up today. And if you hung out the entire 2.5 hours, I told you it was going to go by fast. I told you it was. All right. So fastest 2.5 hours of your life. I told you. But we're going to get out of here, man. Thank you guys so much. We'll be back at this thing, Lord willing, Friday morning for ARP in the morning. We'll have the crew here. And I'm not sure what we're going to talk about, but I'm sure it'll be good. So appreciate you guys, man. Thank you guys very much for pulling up and supporting what we're doing over here at ARP. And as always, keep God first. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you guys.
God bless.
Peace.
God bless.
God bless.
It is God who arms me with strength. Yeah, I'm battle ready. He trains my hands for battle. My heart stays steady. But thanks be to God, He gives us the victory. Through my Lord Jesus Christ, fear can't live in me. I was down to the dirt, red clay on my shoes, old pain in my shirt, oh so bruised. In the Lord hit my chest, kicked death from my breath, put power in my step.